Hey everybody, welcome back. It's not TGIF as it normally is when we're live, right? Well, today is finally the very last flight of the Starship. Can you believe this? This is the very last time we're going to see a Block 2 launch. This is it. The end of it. So my question to you guys is, before we even get involved here and get deep into it, I want to know, what do you think is coming for Block 3? I'm going to get into some specs during the course of the show, of course, and I'll kind of get into some nitty gritty on what I think is going to happen and what I know is going to happen. There's a lot that's going to be going on, and this is really, really big. People have been asking me over the last couple of weeks, they're like, Joe, do you think that they're going to do a Mechazilla, a chopstick catch and everything? And I'm like, they keep on saying no, and it's always a possibility, but I just don't think so. And according to everything that we're reading now, it's not happening. So there's not going, if you're waiting for some type of Mechazilla catch, it's just not going to happen today. I think what they're going to do is twist this thing, pull it, just let it scream to see exactly what it can handle. And if it ruds, it ruds, because this is all information that is going to be kind of migrated into Block 3. Anyways, before we get too deep into it, I want to say hello to everyone. And before I do, how does audio sound? Can you hear me okay? Is everything good? I see scream in there. Scream. So how's the audio? Can you guys hear me good? Let me know. Before we get, like I said, before I get too deep in the woods and then audio is like horrible or something. So we're good. We're good. 5 by 5. Good. All good. All right. That's what I like to hear. So let's start out. Let's see who's here. And if you're new here, welcome. All right. This channel is all about space, SpaceX, Starlink, AI, Linux, that type of thing. All right. All kinds of cool crap. That's basically it. And it's things that I like. That's what the channel is all about. And I've been doing this for quite some time, for many, many years now. Lately, we've been doing a lot of SpaceX stuff. Sometimes we'll jump into Linux if I'm doing a project on Linux or whatever. It just depends on what's going on. Lately, there's been a lot of Starlink things going on, and DTC and direct-to-cell, being able to take your phone and make a phone call from a satellite overhead, which is absolutely crazy, right? And it works. So if you haven't watched any of my videos on this type of subject, well, I have about 580 videos just for you, just on SpaceX Starlink, that I've been covering over the last 54 months. It's a long time. I've been here since beta time, so I've had these things from the very, very beginning, and Starlink is just amazing, absolutely amazing. Starship is kind of like the next frontier. Starship is what's going to be able to bump Starlink to the next dimension, let's say. Because remember, the whole reason behind Starship, supposedly, besides getting to Mars, is being able to put on orbit version 3, the latest and greatest Starlink satellites, all right? That is what they're trying to do, and that's what they will do. And as we could see in the last, IFT-10, we saw the Pez dispenser open up and it launch out some satellites, dummy satellites. That's the exact same thing that's going to happen today, if all goes well. And I think it will. I think it will. I think if it's going to rud at any time, it's going to rud coming back. And the reason is because they're going to twist it, like I said. They're going to really put it through its paces. That's what I think. But I'll get into why in just a minute. Anyways, let's see. Who the heck is here? Who do we got? Christopher, thank you for being here. Blast off, Christopher. Yes, Michael's in the house. Thank you for being here. Who else we got? David. Moving down here. Fragile is here. Thank you for being here, Fragile. Phil Dow is here. Martin. Let's see who. Cool Water, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That deserves a big heart from me. Thank you for the super chat. Any kind of donations, always warmly welcome. Not needed, not required, but always warmly welcome. Really appreciate that. Speed Racer, thank you for being here. Peter is in the house. How you doing, Peter? Gosling is here. Let's see. Chris is here. Let's see, moving down. Let's see. Here we go. Stefan, premium sub. Thank you for that, Stefan. Appreciate you being here. Moving down here. Chris Walker is here. Honey Badgers, thank you for being here. Chris, Craig, Bad Bobber. I like it. Chad is here. Debbie, thank you for being here. Alan, let's see. David H. Mark is here. Mudslinger. Mudslinger. There you go. Mudslinger. Are you into 4x4? Maybe? Mudslinger's here. Let's see. David, Martin, Rolo is in the house. Fast RC. Love RCs, right? Drone Key is here. Peter Gosling, member for 26 months. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Stephen is here. Debbie. So, Chris. So today, once again, this is going to be a monumental day for SpaceX because they're moving from the Block 1, from the Block 2, and now from the Block 2 to the Block 3. What does that mean? Well, everything changes. Not everything, but a lot of things change. So, and I'll get into that a little bit. The big things to look for today is that, number one, we're once again moving from Block 2 to Block 3. That is very, very big. This is the very last iteration, let's say, of the Block 2. All right, this Ship 38 is going to be it. And as you can see, it's booster 15 point or 15-2 that they're using. Now, if you don't catch that, okay, I'm going to tell you what that means. Whenever you see a -2, -3, anything on, let's say, a Falcon or on a ship or whatnot, whenever you see the dash, for the most part, that has to do with if it has been used before. What does that mean? Well, that means that the booster that SpaceX is going to use today has been used already before. And it actually was used on IFT-8, I believe. It was caught with the chopsticks, went back to refurbished, and now it's going off again on IFT-11. Pretty cool stuff, right? Pretty cool stuff. So once again, you got Ship 38, that's new, and you have 15-2, which is the reused, refab, super heavy. So this is really cool. It's really good to see that they're actually getting something that is reusable. Obviously, it needs to be reusable quicker than that, but just for them doing it just really says a lot, because that means that they really believe that once they refurbish these things, it's going to have no problem. Now, we've seen that with the Falcon 9s, right? I mean, some of these Falcon 9s have flown Starlink satellites on orbit like 20, 30 times, okay? So can they, yes, reusability is kind of the mainstay of SpaceX. That is why SpaceX is up here and everyone else is down here. No one else has reusability as of yet. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can look at the Russians, you can look at the Chinese, you can look at anyone. No one has reusability that's working as of today besides Elon Musk, SpaceX. So that's a really big, big thing. So we're going to end up seeing a launch window. They're going to start talking to us, let's say about 30 minutes out. Originally, the time was 7:15. When we were going to, or 7:15 Eastern Daylight Time or Eastern Standard, however you want to look at it. But I believe that's going to be pushed back a little bit, but we will see. If not, we're going to see them come live to start talking, once again, 30 minutes before. So we will see what ends up happening. Now, remember, if you're new here, you got to understand that once everything really starts going and we see that SpaceX is kind of taking the ball, my commentary is going to go down, right? I'm not going to be speaking very much. I'm going to make me like this big on the window so you can see the entire thing going on, so you don't miss anything, right? It's not about me. It's about this Starship launch. So that's what's going to end up happening. You're going to hear less of me. I'll do some commentating, just a little bit here and there if they miss something, or if I see something that I know is an issue, let's say, I'll call it out. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Let me see if we can pull in. We'll pull in the chat too, so you guys can see the chat. Or you know what? Let's go ahead and bring in. Let's see if we can bring in. Here we go. So this screen right here will show T-minus. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see T-minus. We have 1 hour and 32 minutes and counting, all right? The upper right-hand corner, okay, you have Lab Padre. These people are awesome. When we were in Texas, with Shannon from the show, last launch, just before the last launch. I think it was the beginning of the month, last month. And we were there literally at Starbase. And I can't say enough about these folks over there, Lab Padre as well as NSF, having those cameras stationed there. It costs them a lot of money. So I'm glad that a lot of people support them and they send them money and, you know, do all the things. But they actually buy land around, plots of land around there, set up cameras, and that's what allows us to be able to watch a lot of times what's going on. So once again, the top is Lab Padre's feed, the bottom is NSF feed, and of course I'm over here. And if Shannon comes on eventually, I'm going to put him down on the lower left-hand corner. Now, Fabiola, my wife, will be coming on with us for the launch. That's what she says, at least. And then I'm going to scoot over here, and then she'll sit here. That's kind of how it should go down, but we will see. Anyway, so let me just leave that right now while I'm saying hello to everyone. Bear in mind, if you want to say something to me directly, please do a @JCristina. It just makes it a lot easier, and I can actually see stuff pop up. If you just write, I might not see it because it starts getting, right now there's 100, 200 people, whatever it is, online right now. But sometimes we'll see 600, 700, 800, 1,000 people online. I can't keep up with it. So if you put @JCristina, it'll pop up in fluorescent and I'll be able to see it. It's a lot easier for me. Let me see, moving down here. I just want to see if there's anyone else that pop up here. No. Okay. Once again, @JCristina. Back to what we were talking about here with the what is going to, I guess, the quick mission notes, right? The facts. The other thing to focus on here, of course, is what are they working on? Number one is the TPS, which is your thermal protection system. That is massive. Remember from Starship, from I think it was 7, 8, and 9 that blew up before coming back. What that means is the TPS crew, the people that work on the thermal protection, all of those heat shield tiles, right? They got no data because the damn thing blew up before it came back, before re-entry, before the plasma is just pouring off the damn thing, right? So they didn't get any data until the very last Starship when it came back. That was IFT-10. So that was really good because now with IFT-11, there's a lot of changes that have been made. You have the active cooling. Remember the last time the whole damn thing turned copper in color, right? Because they had some metallic tiles and the metallic, due to the plasma, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it kind of coated everything in this copper looking color. It was kind of pretty, but that's not exactly what they wanted. So we might not see that today. We'll see. I have a feeling we won't see copper today. But anyway, so the thermal protection system is really, really mission critical. Also, they're going to do multiple, my understanding is multiple relights of the Raptors in space. That is very, very important. So we will see if that actually happens. The other thing is they're going to be working on that splashdown recovery deal. What happens with splashdown, and do they land the Starship and the Super Heavy exactly where they need to land it? Now they know Super Heavy, they can land it to a dime because obviously Mechazilla has caught the thing multiple times now. So they got that. They got that. But Starship is a different story. Can they land Starship exactly where it needs to land? That's a big thing. We don't know yet. So we're gonna see. I think the last time they were off within some feet, but remember, if you're trying to land on Mechazilla and get caught, you can't land like 3-4 feet off. You need to get it dead on. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. That might end up being something that proves to be, let's say, it works or it doesn't work. People ask me, when do I think that they're going to catch the ship? And it really depends on how this version 3 goes. How does the block 3 go? Is it going to be, an easy go of it, or are they going to have problems with block 2? Remember when they went from block 1 to block 2, it was like all hell broke loose. Do you remember? It was just a hot mess. It was horrible. It was like a thorn in their side. I know they couldn't wait to get rid of block 2 and move into block 3 because it was just hell. I mean, they just blew them up once again. 7 blew up, 8 blew up, 9 blew up. The first one that came back was 10, the one just prior to this one. So this is really, really, important for them, let's say. So we will see what ends up happening with that. I don't know. Are they going to be able to land in a dime or they're not? If they are, I would have to say right around, I would say 13 maybe, 15, somewhere around there, between 13 and 15, we might see a catch. Now, there's a couple of things that are changing on the block 3. Matter of fact, one of the big changes is instead of having 3 of those or 4 of those grid fins that slow it down and kind of guide it, there's going to be 3, and they're going to be larger. And the pins are going to be involved with those, right? So they're not separate. They're going to be, it's all like a unit. So there's some new things involved. Also, you're not going to have all of that lower end to the craft. You know where you see all of that heat shielding, that skirt that goes, you're not going to need that anymore because the new Raptors don't require it. The new Raptors, they look like they're naked. There's nothing on them. All right. There's very little hosing, the very little piping. They don't have the big heat shield or, you know, that big bell housing. They don't have any of that. It's like it's naked. So when you look at it, the next version is going to look like there's something missing, but there's nothing missing. That's just how it is. So anyways, cool stuff. So that's kind of like where they're going with this. The other thing, obviously, is we're doing that 15-2. So is that, you know, super heavy going to be an issue or is it not? Also, are they reusing any of those Raptor engines out of the 33 or are they all new, right? I don't have answers for that, but we will see. We'll see what ends up happening with this because once again, this is very important. This is going to be one of those very dramatic tests. A dramatic test, when I say dramatic, meaning that I think that they're going to push this thing. And if they want to rut it, they're going to rut it at the end. They're going to really rip it. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm excited for it. I am very, very excited for it. So we're right now at what? Let's look at this. T minus, where are we at right now? T minus an hour, I guess. Are we at an hour? Just under an hour. So let me just make sure that everything is, yeah. So it's 1 hour, 24 minutes, right? Yeah, 1 hour, 24 minutes. So remember, at 30 minutes prior, so in just about, let's call it just under an hour or just over an hour, we're going to see SpaceX take over. So I'm going to kind of give you the commentary beforehand, and then we'll kind of watch together as this thing launches. Let's go over here and take a look to see what's going on over here. Is anything changing on SpaceX? Let me see here. All right, let me go over to watch. Here we go. What do we got going here? And there we go. What do we got? So it says starting at 6:43. Okay. So that's really good, guys, because what that means is since it's still saying starting at 6:43 or 6:45, let's just call it, and they normally start commentary at around 30 minutes prior, that means that this thing should go off at 7:15 as predicted. So that means there's no weather in the area or anything. Now, speaking about weather, if you guys, some of you guys have been around with me for a while, you guys know that I've been working on this for a while, and here we go. All right, you see this? So when you guys have a chance, okay, go over to my page and then go into the lives. And in the live area, you're going to see this. This is called the, well, for me, it is the space station is what I call it. Now, this is a work in progress. It's beta. I've done a lot of JavaScripting and all kinds of other stuff going on here. So what this is, now normally there's very like soft music playing in the background, no percussion at all. So if you wanted to sleep to it, you could, or you could leave it on in the background to code to. All right, that's what I made this thing for. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But look at the data. This is the data that it gives us. If you look at the lower right-hand corner, do you see it says Starbase? And you see it has temperature and winds and gusts and clouds and rain and visibility and lightning. And then underneath that, you have a launch likelihood of 85%, right? Or 85%. So 85% is pretty damn good. If there was a lot of rain or upper altitude stuff, it would say, you know, 50% or 40%. Now, that is an algorithm that I wrote based on weather and upper winds and all kinds of other stuff, okay? So that's my prediction. That is not a weather company's prediction. That is basically me taking all of the data, showing it to you, and then giving you a prediction within the next hour. What's the likelihood of a launch? Here you can see Vandenberg, you have a likelihood of 100% of a launch. I also have Starbase, and then finally I do have the Cape Canaveral up the road from me. And it'll once again tell you. If you go up from there in the upper right-hand corner, you have solar weather report. You see solar winds, you have solar density, KP index, photon flux, as well as X-ray flux. And then underneath that, you have solar threat. This right here gives you the, let's say, the threat index to the amount of solar winds or radioactivity that's hitting the planet, hitting the Earth at any given time. So when this is sitting at elevated, well, that we're getting hit with a little something. This is constantly in flux. But if you see this blinking red for an extended period of time, chances are there is something going on in the upper atmosphere. We are definitely getting hit by some type of solar storm, and that will affect ham radio operators, and it will affect radio signal, RF, radio frequency in general, as well of course, satellites, right? Lower left-hand corner, you have breaking news. There's a lot of breaking news that goes through there every single day. There's about 30 different news sources. They're constantly being updated. And then on the upper left-hand corner, whatever's the next launch. Obviously, you can see here the next launch is going to be the Starship. Sometimes it might say a Falcon 9. It might be Project Kuiper. That was the last one I saw in there. And it'll tell you what the T-minus is to launch and where is it launching from, what exactly it is, so on and so forth. Then in the center, you can see that globe. That globe is actually a globe of Starlink satellites real time. So every one of those dots, is about 8,500 of them in totality, is a Starlink satellite as of right now orbiting around the planet. And that's a real-time representation. Once again, all of this is through JavaScript and CSS and HTML and all kinds of other stuff going on, and Perl script in the background. Anyways, upper at the very top, you'll see a next 5 or 6 launches. And you can see a ticker tape running, and it'll show you exactly what they are, when they are, and then a short description of what it is. Underneath that, you have a time clock. You have New York. You have Central Time as well as West Coast Time. And then you have Europe. And then finally, you have Galactic Time. If you don't know what that is, Galactic Time goes by the stars. It does not go by the sun. All right, it's a little bit different. If you deal with astronomy and stuff, a lot of times you're going to use galactic time. Anyway, so that's there. And then at the bottom, we have any kind of advertisements or anything that I want you to know about goes down here. So that's something that I've put together for you guys that will be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. At least it should be. Once again, this is in beta, so sometimes it goes sideways, and then I have to fix things. So bear with me. Once again, it is a work in progress. It's something that I made for you, and hopefully it's something that you guys enjoy. Maybe later on I'll talk about it one more time when there's more people on, but you guys are here first, so you hear about it first. So there you go. Let me get into the chat to see if I'm missing any. Once again, at JCristina makes it easy for me to find. At JCristina. Here's one. Craig, hi, long time, no see. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for being here. Let me see, moving down, question. Let me see, what is that question? Peter Madsen, how are you doing, Peter? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, appreciate you. Let's see, moving on. Hello, end of RUD era. That's from Go Config. That would be nice. We will see. We will see. That would be nice. I would like to see that, because it's always like a bummer for me. You know, we're preparing for this amazing launch, and then we're watching it, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're in it. You know, it was like 6 to 8 minutes, and then it blows up, and then 6 to 8 minutes it blows up, 6 to 8 minutes it blows up. I mean, it just gets to be annoying after a while. But you know, obviously they're learning. That's what they're doing. Let's see. Moving down here. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. At JCristina. Back to what was changing. A lot of people don't know this, but not only in the Block 3, they're going to be using the Raptor 3 engines, which are just so much more efficient. They don't need that aft shielding, right? You don't need that big bell housing, all that skirt, all that nonsense. You don't need it, because plasma can pour over it and it won't melt, right? The engines are perfect the way they are, and there's very little piping on the outside. Everything is inside. Also, they remove that complexity to the engine, like shield joints and whatnot. Also, it's going to be lower mass. And just the fact of being lower mass, there's a lot that goes into that. That's very important. It's still going to actually have more thrust, but be lighter weight. It's just amazing to me. The big thing is there's less to refurbish. So you're not going to be having to fix as much, right? Which is really quite nice. Like I was telling you before, the grid fins do change. You go from 4 grid fins to only 3 grid fins. They're bigger, but there's going to be 3. The other big change with this Block 3 is they're going to have that revised quick disconnect, okay? A means of refueling, the new hardware for refueling on orbit. So in LEO, that is the next thing. Like if you think of it this way, everything moving from IFT-1 all the way up to IFT-10, or now IFT-11, everything has been all about getting to orbit, right? Well, as we move into Block 3, it's not going to be about getting to orbit anymore. It's going to be about refueling on orbit. So everything changes. Getting there and getting back is not a problem anymore. It's now, once you're there, what do you do? And that is what we're doing now with that propellant and ground interface changes with the Block 3. Matter of fact, do we have someone that just arrived? I think we do. Let me just move over a little bit. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. And as I promised, you don't have to look at this ugly face anymore. Now we have my wife. How you doing? Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Blowing in like the wind.
Blowing
in like
Rolling
the
in.
Starship. Or whatever's happening.
Yeah. If you want to look at, say hello to a couple of people, go ahead and do so. Yeah, throw that on. Let me just finish my thought on this LEO deal. Once again, it's the difference between getting to orbit to now being in orbit and actually doing something with it. The biggest thing is refueling, because refueling is what's going to get us to Mars. Refueling is what's going to get us to the moon. The secondary biggest thing would be obviously putting the new version 3 satellites on orbit. That is massive. So that's what's going to be the next big thing. All right. I'll go into some other things with you also, but in the meantime, I'll let Fab say hello to some people. Oh, I see John K. Wolf's in the house. Thank you for being here, John.
Hello. Sorry, I am like disheveled.
Don't be disheveled.
I am disheveled, and that's because I thought I was somebody driving Joe's car today with the sunroof open, you know. The not mom car. That doesn't seem fair. Anyways, let's see, who else is here? I don't know what's going on with your chat thing here on this thing. Go config. Pete, oh my God, Peter Madsen, you're here?
Peter's
Stop
here.
it. I can't believe it. John K. Wolf, Anthony Atkinson, Michael Hari, how are you? Chad Kelly, Joe Boshi, David Cole, Skylane 182. David, what's going on? Space Station time. Michael Johnson, Skitty Von Stade. Ooh, that sounds kind of bouge. What else? What did I miss? What's going on? Phil Dow, Martin Maynard. You need to move the tires on your chair. Cool water. Oh, wow. There's a lot of you guys here. Ken Harris, Speed Racer. Whipped a puppy.
A lot of people here ready.
Bad Bobber.
Bad
Craig.
Bobber.
Travis Hockenberry, how are you doing? I am really disheveled, you guys.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, so what's up? What did I miss? What's up?
Let's see.
Bob Williams is here from Kansas.
How you doing, Bob?
Rolo Tomase, Dave, Martin, Craig, Mark Sparks. Ooh, wait, who's this? Member for life. Peter Gosling, what's going on?
Peter.
Steve Palmer, Chris, Debbie Hrin, Jim Sims, what's going on? Anthony, I think I got everybody. David Fofi. If I missed a few, I'm sorry, but I think I kind of did.
Everybody's here.
Orchid, Fabiola, what kind of skincare do you use? Your skincare looks amazing. I have to tell you that I think it's just Florida humidity. Like we're here. We're wilding out.
We're melting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Let me just get back into a couple of things with this new production and maintaining, the ability of maintaining with the Block 3. I was kind of talking to you guys about the Block 3 because Block 3 is really important because that's where we're moving into on the next IFT launch. This is the very last IFT launch, which is a Block 2.
For the year?
And then that's it. No, not for the year, but hopefully not for the year, but this is the last of this breed, let's say. The new ones aren't going to look like this. They're going to be a little bit, they're going to shape different. They're going to have some different niceties to them. The other big thing today that we're going to look at, hopefully, is that, let's call it actively cooled tiles. So instead of being passively cooled, where there's ceramic tiles and the heat is basically dissipating by themselves through the ceramic, they are working on some actively cooled tiles. Now, what they're actively cooling with behind them, I really don't know. But I think it'd be interesting to see how they do this process of actively cooling. I don't know. I really don't know, but does it work or does it not? Because remember, there is very cool, very cold cryo liquids on the ship. And if you just basically ran a specific amount of them through that exterior portion of the ship, that would cool now maybe a piece of copper. Almost like the way I envision it is this. Let's look at it this way. Each one of these shields that are like, let's say, a tile, a ceramic tile that is a dinner dish size. Now imagine it as a CPU. And now the backside of it has some type of copper, let's say, or something that is very conductive. And then on the backside of that, you have something super, super cold, right? So you can actually cool them, but from the backside. Now, is that a way that they can do it? Or are they going to be running, let's say, some type of cooling liquid through them or through the back of them or through another, let's say, connector? I don't know. There is some other things that have changed that we'll probably get into before the end. And one of them is this crinkle, like this, it's like a substrate almost that goes in between each tile to not really secure them, but to seal them a little better. So you don't end up getting plasma going underneath the tile. Because what people don't understand is when you look at the ship, it looks like the tiles are like one on top of another like this, right? Well, they really aren't. If you went up really close and you took a look at them, those tiles are not smashed up against each other. They are apart. Now, the distance apart relates to the heat in which that they have to take, let's say. If it's an area that doesn't take a ton of heat, all right, meaning not a ton of expansion, they can actually put the tiles closer together. But let's say on the very base of the bottom where they come in, when the ship comes in like this, right? And that whole bottom is just pouring off plasma, that's going to get thousands and thousands of degrees of heat. Well, at that point, those tiles need to be further apart, which is counterintuitive, right? But that's just the way it is, to, let's say, allow for the expansion. Because remember, the heat will expand it, and then when it gets cold, it'll contract, even by just a little bit. So if you actually were to put the tile butting each other, right, they would all crack off. As soon as it would heat up, they would just expand and they would just snap. They would all break. So it's an art to put those tiles up. Now, they've been doing this tile thing since the space shuttle days, okay? They've been doing it since the space shuttle, and it used to take them 8 months to put these tiles on. These people are doing them extremely quickly. So getting the tiles right, I think Elon said in an interview one time, was more important than anything that he's doing. The TPS system, or the thermal protection system, is by far the biggest thing that they have to work on and to get working when it comes to reusability. They can't replace these things all the damn time. They just need to work, come back through the atmosphere, and then if they have to replace one or two, that's one thing, but not a bunch, right? It can't be like the space shuttle, right? So anyway, so that's another thing that we need to look for. Thank you so much, Michael, for the super chat. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to all Canadians. Thank you for that. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving in Canada.
Yes, I was just going to say that, so I didn't get to kick them.
Oh.
Darn.
You could kick me next time.
All right. So I'm going to backtrack a little just to see if I can find any questions. If you have a question, please at JCristina. So it pops out in a yellow highlight for me, and I can read it. It's easier for me to see it. Let's see. Did you do? Cool water. Ed Joseph. The Starship doesn't get much better. If the flight is
Nope.
scrubbed, can I have my $5 back?
Yes, you can.
Just kidding. Let's see. Hold on. Trying to look. It says. Martin said, greetings from the beautiful area of Manford, Oklahoma, right off
Greetings.
Keystone Lake. Love that. I don't think I'm even plugged in, to be honest. It doesn't sound like I am.
Yeah, we don't have any audio really
Okay.
going right now. We're good.
All right. Craig, hiya. Long time no see. Sorry, Craig. Thanks for being here.
How you doing,
Joan
Craig?
Okie. Hello, JCristina. Hello, you guys.
Jim Sims.
Yep. How close do you live? How close do you live to Barry Cunningham, another podcaster?
I don't know.
He lives in Florida too. I don't know. I have to look it up. I'll find out.
Really? Yeah,
John
I'm not
Wolf.
sure. I'm not sure.
Peter Madsen said, no hello to me today, JC, laughing, smiling faces, but I did see you before Jay did. So, John K. Wolf, I hope it makes it because we are praying for the whole thing, not Elon isn't not paying for nothing. Go config.
Hey guys,
Hello.
1 hour and 5 minutes
Oh, nice.
to launch.
Hello, end of Rudd era.
Yes, the end of Rudd. Yeah, we shouldn't be blowing up, hopefully, today. I shouldn't say that. If we do blow up, like I said before, we'll blow up on the final portion of reentry. I think they're going to twist and pull this thing. They're really going to give it a full workout, and if it blows up, it blows up. They want to get as much data as possible. Once again, like I told you before, the TPS system, folks, the people on that team didn't get data for IFT-7, IFT-8, and IFT-9. They got no data at all. They just sat there. And then finally, IFT-10, they got a ton of data as it came back. So we're going to see a lot of changes on that TPS system. And that always interests me. You will see one of the things I just absolutely love when we see the Starship start coming back in and you see the flames, not even flames, you see the plasma pouring off. Plasma, that's like multiple thousands of degrees heat. Plasma. It's just crazy. And how these things can actually withstand it without melting is just unbelievable.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Jimsons have a crazy question. Would it be feasible to make your space station flying to Pluto and all the planets since it will be on 24/7?
That would be awesome. Yeah. I just need to get video footage of that. But yeah, it's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. It's a work in progress. So the meat and potatoes, like all of that data, you can see there's a ton of data on there. Matter of fact, let me just flip that back so that you guys understand what we're talking about here.
I love this thing.
There
Can I
we go.
just say I love this thing? And you guys know that I'm like the history buff here. Like I'm like the old stuff. So for me to like tech stuff is a lot. And I put it on. I have no idea
it's
what's
got
going
like-
on,
it's
but
got
like
like
the
the-
noises and the whole thing. I put it on the big TV in the bedroom and then I'm like dead.
Yeah, so I'm not putting on the background sound to it, but definitely go and check that out and listen to it.
But I think it's cool.
deep
Like
space.
you guys can continue to chat and like hang
Yeah.
out and do, like that's cool.
Yeah. So like I was saying, all of the data that's going on here, all the algorithms, all of the scraping of, NASA information, a ton of information, this is all real-time data that's happening as we speak. So it's continuously going. So anyways, the bottom line here is we're going to keep it in beta for the next maybe month, maybe a few weeks. I want to make sure that the hardware is working. I ended up having memory problems and then ended up going from a memory problem to a GPU that ended up going bad. And then I believe my GPU went bad because the PSU or the power.
That's that whole thing that was going on that it kept taking a shit.
It just
Sorry,
kept
dump.
It just kept taking a shit. Yes.
Sorry. I forgot it's not Friday. It's
not
Monday.
Friday.
What am I?
Free Speech Friday.
First of all,
You
what am
got-
I even doing here on
I don't
a
even
Monday?
know. So, but yeah, on Friday, join us. We kind of just let it rip on Fridays.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the PSU died, and then the GPU died, and one of the memory out of the two sticks died. So it's just been hella horrific. But it's working now, and it's been working for about, I think, 3 days straight. So, I'm glad for that at least. Anyways.
All right, Jim, we did that one. Hold on. Joe Bosi. Beauty has arrived to replace the beast. I'm just going to catch up because Joe's been talking a lot. Oh, thank you for that super chat. Thanks, Joe.
Joe with the super chat.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's see. Hi. Yeah. Let's see. I feel like I'm going to sing. Okay, David Cole. I am currently in Amarillo, Texas. Do you think I would see any part of the launch, or am I too far north?
Amarillo. Yes, you probably will not see it because remember, from Boca Chica, it launches southeast is how it goes off, and it ends up through the strait right in between Cuba and Florida, right? That's where it's going over, right? So it's going away. Let's just say it's going away from you, all right? So probably not, but give it a look-see. Check out, go out there and take a look. I know we have friends of the show that are on their boat sometimes, and they're in the Caribbean. And I'm
not jealous. Friends of the show in the Caribbean, floating around on your little dinghy.
And when it blows up, they can see it. They can see it through the sky like fireworks. So, it just depends on where you are. Thanks a lot once again, Joe.
Can I just put out? I don't want to work anymore.
You don't want to work anymore?
No. Can I just be can I be like one of those housewives?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I'm tired.
Yeah, but this show is making so much money. I don't even know what to do with it all.
Fuck, I have to work. Never mind.
She ain't quitting anytime soon. So, I do this out of love.
On that note, please like, share, subscribe, all the things, so Fab could maybe become a housewife of Loxahatchee.
The housewife of Loxahatchee. We'll make a show.
And everybody else has a housewife of something. Why not Loxahatchee? Can we start here, though? Here.
We can do it. Why not? We're sitting on 5 acres. Why don't we just go wander around? Okay, maybe we don't. Okay, get in here. Once again, Joe, thank you so much for that super chat. It's helping with the keeping Fab at home.
Not yet. We're working on it. Let's see. Okay. So we have David M. Hey from Oklahoma.
How you doing, David?
Let's see. We did that one. Sorry. I'm just catching up.
I see one at the bottom before you get to the next one. Duncan Run says, do you think liftoff will happen? I do. And the reason I do is back to my screen here, all right? If you look, you see that in the lower right-hand corner? You see it says Cape Canaveral? It goes from Cape Canaveral to Vandenberg Space, and then finally it goes to Starbase. If you watch that on the lower right-hand corner, you will see Starbase and you'll see the weather. Right now it's on Vandenberg. So if you give it a second, it's going to give you temperature. It will give you winds, gusts, clouds. It'll give you rain, the amount of rain, visibility, which is really important, and also give you lightning. And then finally underneath it, it'll give you launch probability. That's through an algorithm that I wrote. And as you can see there, it says 100%, all right, for Starbase. We see no problems at all. Visibility is like infinite forever. There's no lightning, no nothing. Clouds are nothing. I mean, everything looks perfect for a launch. So do I think that it's going to launch? I really do. Great. I really, really do.
I hope so. I'm here on a Monday, like I said.
Before you say another word, Shannon is in the house with 20
Shannon.
gifted memberships.
You? I feel like we're passing ships. Like when Shannon is here, I am not here. I'm somewhere, I don't even know where.
Yes.
But yes, thank you very much. If you are receiving a gifted membership from Shannon, please shout out and say thank you. That is awesome.
Yes.
Popping off on Monday late afternoon.
Yes, thank you for being here, Shannon. We're going to see if we can get Shannon in with us while Fabiola is getting
it's a party on a Monday night.
Yeah, maybe we can bring him in before launch happens.
All right, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Mitch Altogether, it says, I got my free Starlink Mini today from Starlink. I've been using it on standby, and it's great for $5 a month. Glad to be here today. Thanks for the stream.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hold on. This thing just scrolled. Okay. Let's see. Love the new space page you talked about earlier. Good work. That's from Robert Hodge.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Michael Hari, you should test your power of harmonic distortion could be the cause of your equipment failures.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. The only thing is, this thing is on. I love the harmonic distortion. What's really interesting is that the power has always been 100% on a scrubbed, really, really nice sine wave backup unit, right? So we've always had perfect power on everything. I know you're kidding around, but the bottom line here is everything has been perfect with it, and I just don't understand how so many pieces of hardware have gone bad on this. It's almost like QC, quality control, is complete crap these days. I mean, it's not even like I'm buying refurbished. These are like new. It's like new memory. 1 out of 2, bad. How is that even a thing? You know, you buy a PSU, bad. So the CPU lead is fine, but the GPU isn't putting out enough power. Why? I mean, this is the type of thing. I don't even get it. I really don't get it. The same thing with my my GPU went south. I think the GPU went south because it was trying to draw a ton of juice that it wasn't getting. People don't understand that, but sometimes surges are easier on electronics than a brownout, let's say, where it's trying to suck the power. Anyways, I'll let you go, and I'll see if we can get Shannon in the house here. Hold on, just a second here. We will see if we can do it. Maybe. Oh,
I can hear.
You can hear him?
Play it for Tradition and Thorn, who is in Fernandina Beach, Florida. They both say, light that candle, let's go, and let's kick the tires and light the fires.
Yes. yes. Shannon, I cannot give you my my video for some reason, but I'm going to try one other thing. So hang in there, buddy. We'll see if we can get you on here. Hang in there.
Let's see. Welsh and Sun Farm, how are you?
How are you doing?
Like, hate, subscribe, share, Fab. Be nice. We picked on him a lot on Friday just for you. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
He's not lying either.
I know. I love it. It's great. I'm glad that I have support while I'm not here.
Yeah, lots of support.
Let's see.
We're getting close.
Joe Boshi said, how did I know the proper pronunciation of my last name? I don't know. When I was in elementary school, I was in the spelling bee. I don't think I had any special training or talent. Maybe it's because I learned how to speak Spanish and English. I don't know. I've always been pretty good at spelling, so maybe that's why.
And I am horrendous. So don't even ask me to say anything about a name, or it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that we have things in our DNA that are natural gifts, you know?
No,
and if you're
true.
lucky enough to figure out that you have it and acknowledge it, then, you know.
It's absolutely the case.
Half the battle, I guess.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
All right.
Mick Pletcher, the Starlink standby mode gives you 0.7 megabits per second. That's not bad for a $5 a month.
Absolutely not.
Let's see. Chris Pilgrim, Flyer Can. Yeah, they offered and I accepted a free mini from Starlink. It will cost $7 Canadian a month for standby mode with minimal performance. Can't wait to try it. That's awesome.
How much is it?
7 Canadian.
Wow, that is awesome. That is really, really nice.
Michael Johnson, all this.
Just so you know that the mini goes for $4.99 in the U.S. and the mini also will be like I think it's like right around $2.99 is the cheapest that we've seen it so far. So that's really good. That is a really good price.
Okay.
Let's see. Hang in there 1 second. I'm going to see if
Michael
we can get,
Johnson, all this failed electronics jazz is just a good excuse for moving manufacturing to the USA.
Yeah.
I agree. Elkwood Bear, did they pause the countdown?
Let's see. Let me see what this looks like. Let me get in here.
I can't see it on my screen.
Okay, so we went forward. So we were going to go. They were going to start at 6:43, and now their page says that they're going to start at 6:57. So let's just say they moved it ahead 15 minutes. So figure 7 o'clock is when they're going to start their coverage. That means their coverage is usually about 30 minutes prior. So instead of 7:15, we're going to most likely see a launch around 7:30. So did they pause it? No. Did they push it back? Yes, according to what I'm seeing here.
Nice.
Let me see if we can get Ninja in here. Let me see if it will work.
Okay.
There we go. I
Eli?
see. Wait a second. 1 second. I see Shannon. Can we hear Shannon, though? That is the question. No, I am not seeing your audio, Shannon.
I'm just going to say hi to Eli, Samuel, Adolfo.
But I'm going to leave you there, Shannon. So when we get your audio to start popping in there, then we'll be good. Then we'll be good. So far, so good. According to this, it looks like. Let me see. Go ahead and talk real quick, Shannon. Yeah, I'm not seeing any waveform at all from you. So why that's not coming through, I don't know. But that's okay. We'll keep you there and just we'll see if we can get it going.
Chris Walker said the countdown timer on SpaceX site is 59. Okay. And Eli Samuel Adolfo said, hold on. Sua familia una buena noche de segunda feria día 13 de octubre de 2025. So good evening, October 13th. Appreciate you being here. Hello,
Thank you.
hola. Mark Draft, hi from Australia. Hope the extra removal tiles don't affect the re-entry too much.
Yes, we will see. I don't know. They have removed tiles. They have added tiles. They've added coating. They've changed tiles. They've done a lot with the tiles. Trust me. Like I said before, the TPS crew, the thermal protection crew, they have really they've been doing a lot. Yeah, no audio on Shannon. I know,
Okay.
Peter. We're still working on Shannon's audio, but we're going to keep Shannon there for right now and see if we can get the audio to start coming through. He's mobile right now. He's actually on a trip on his laptop, and he wanted to come in and say hello and whatnot. But you know how it is. Sometimes the audio works, and then sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes video works, sometimes it doesn't. You just
I
never
swear,
know.
Shannon, we really are passing ships. You know this.
Can you hear me now?
I
can hear you now.
And hold on just a second. Now, if we can hear you, let me just go into here. Go ahead and speak.
Woof.
Yes. There you go. There we go. We can hear you. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah. The exact setup I had this morning doesn't work, so I had to go with the microphone on here. That figures, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the way that it goes.
So
now.
guys, can everyone hear Shannon? It says, yes, we can hear Shannon. That's from Peter. Thank you. Awesome.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Shannon. So like I said, he's not sitting there with some type of a professional setup. He's sitting on his laptop in a, I guess, like a hotel, right? Isn't that right?
Windows laptop.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. A Windows laptop.
Hotel
Come on.
in Parker, Arizona, yes.
Nice.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here.
What is the temperature in Arizona right now? I'm curious.
I don't know. Let me give you a time and temperature check.
Oh my God.
It's gotta be hot.
Is it hot or is it cooled down
I'm
some?
gonna guess 90s. Let's see. Parker,
So it
Arizona,
hasn't-
86 degrees.
Wow.
Okay, it cooled down just
Yeah.
a tad from when I was there last.
Yeah, so they had a huge storm roll through here this morning.
That
All
cools
the
it
streets
down.
were flooded, but it was cleared out by the time we got here. So
Oh wow.
we had a big storm coming through Arizona the last 3-4 days. So we got a lot of rain, much needed rain here in Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. All super chats. Any type of gifted memberships, they're always warmly welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, and Sandra says hello, by the way.
How are you doing,
Hello.
Sandra?
She went down to go gamble.
Oh, no. So she's not even hearing us. Okay.
She's
like-
well, you know what? If she wins something.
She's working.
Yeah, that's right. Just think of it that way.
Yeah, I guess. She's good at breaking even and
Hey, that's all you need to do. When you're gambling, breaking even is
Listen,
a
it's
win.
called paid practice.
Yeah. Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
I practice too much.
don't.
Shannon, I don't know how you do it. I
Yeah.
can't. I get mad if I lose 25 cents in a freaking vending machine. let
Yeah, I
alone-
remember one time we were in Vegas and I gave her like $20. I'm like, just go put it in there. Go do it. No, I don't want to. I get a latte or something. No, just put it in there. Just literally lost it. How long? Like the minute. Like
as soon as I put it in, I lost. I was so mad.
Yeah.
and that was it.
I mean,
I'm like, I could have got a Starbs.
I have great nights and I have horrible nights. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's the risk, right?
Jeez.
better than giving it to my kids.
That's,
Don't give it to your kids. Don't-
that's good shit.
Another super chat from Kevin. It says, I'm in upstate New York at $90 per month, discounted, average 470 down by 47 up. Holy hell. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
That is really, really good speeds. The fastest that I have seen recently was 367 down by like 43 up. But I did have a latency of about 14 to 15 milliseconds. That is absurd. I mean, that's really good. Remember, Elon Musk is not only trying to get the speeds faster, but his big thing is get those latency down so that you're able to game with it. You can do like a video call with it. You can do conference calls. You can do all this kind of stuff that you normally can't do with satellite because you have this very, very extremely laggy latency. People don't know this, but with HughesNet or Viasat, the old versions, the old satellites up there that were in GEO, not in LEO, they're at like 36,000 kilometers compared to like 300 and some kilometers. Those things are sitting at like 1,000 millisecond latency instead of 20. 1,000. That's like literally a full second, sometimes higher than 1,000. So it was absolutely impossible to even play a video game. It was next to impossible to have a video conference call that you didn't look like you were on a walkie-talkie, mouth like moving at a different. It was a hot mess. And then they made you pay a ton of money, and now they're going to go out of business. Thankfully so. Thank you, Elon.
And
Appreciate
there
you.
go. All right. What is
So,
our time
I
right
brought
now? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Shannon.
Just really quick. So, I brought my Mini with me, and I brought my T-Mobile home internet thing with me.
Right.
So, the one you're not supposed to roam with.
Right.
So when I got here, the
What BS?
hotel advertising that there's no Wi-Fi in the room. So I'm like, okay. So I get up here, and obviously it was quicker just to plug in the T-Mobile thing. So I ran a speed test to see if I needed to set the Mini up. I'm getting like 400 down, 22 up. I'm thinking I don't have to worry about the Mini.
Wow.
So the Mini
Can't beat
over
that.
there on the sofa. No. So
That's nice.
yeah. So I am pumping out on T-Mobile right now.
Yeah, see that? You could use T-Mobile, and if you wanted to, you can use your Starlink Mini. And this way you don't have to use whatever the hotel is giving you, which is normally crap anyway. So.
And I was in a hurry. If I wasn't in a hurry, I would have just automatically set up the Mini. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Doug Jones says he's getting 330 megabytes by 34 megabytes by 18. That's awesome. So 34 up, 330 down with 18 milliseconds. 18 milliseconds is under that 20 milliseconds that Elon's looking for. So good job, Doug. That's awesome.
All
Go ahead,
right.
Fab.
Michael Johnson. We all thought the stream quality was because of hotel Wi-Fi until you said Windows, Shannon.
No free membership for you.
Joe Boshi, all your tech issues are a curse from Redmond because you dumped Windows for Linux.
Yeah, guys, look. There's Windows. Windows has sat here now for over a year. And everything that we're doing here is all on Linux. And that doesn't matter what it is. It could be 3D CAD stuff. It could be virtualization. It could be music, video editing, video production, this live feed. The live, just so you guys know it, if you don't know it, let me just turn Fab a little bit. Right over here, let me put you on full screen. No, the other way. The other way. You're good.
Jesus.
Yeah, so right over here, right on the back side, that computer is the space station that's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's it. So that's why I wanted to put it in frame. I'm going to leave it there, and once again, it'll be on all the time. So we'll just lower that a little bit.
All right. Hold on.
Free Speech Monday.
I know, right? I already started, Shannon.
Yes,
See what
Shan,
I omitted
you
to
missed
say.
it.
Yeah,
She already dropped
your
an
word was on a
F-bomb,
much higher
okay?
level than my word. Yeah.
Okay, well, so I omitted to say that I ate dinner really quick and I tried to cook really fast so Joe could eat before this, and he didn't get to, but I did, and I really wanted that glass of red wine, so I chugged it. So
You see, I didn't even know that.
it's
Not
free
that there's
speech.
anything wrong with that.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it's Free Speech Monday-ish, maybe.
Something like that.
You know,
See
all
that?
bets are off. I don't know what to
I
tell
don't
you
know.
guys.
I don't know.
So on that note, like, share, subscribe,
Do all those things.
thumbs up, thumbs down, hate it, love it, middle finger, shit emoji, whatever. I'll take it
Yeah.
all.
I like the poop
We're here for
emojis.
all of it. Let's see.
Let me go back in here. We are now at, they just went forward. They moved it forward a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
It's 6:50 now. It says starting time.
What time?
6:50.
Eastern or what?
Originally, it was 6:43, and then it went from 6:43. It went to 6:57. Now it says they're going to start at 6:50. All right, 6:50. That's my time, Eastern time. So in a little bit less than 20 minutes, we're going to hand over to SpaceX and see if the handover goes well. The last time it didn't go over so well. But we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Okay, I have some questions here and some
Let's do it.
comments. Arturo 4586, flaps are not needed if SpaceX would use a gyroscope stabilization, which also works in space. Very effective. Mark Sparks, hey,
They
Jason-
use the flaps also for not just steering, but for slowing down too. So yes and no. Also, those flaps are going to be bigger on the Block 3, and they're going to house the pins. So they're going to be using those fins, those flaps, also for, or the four. They used to have 4 fins, let's say. They're going to only have 3, and they're going to actually have the, let's say, spots to catch the craft with the Mechazilla arms too. So it's like they're multi-use. So we'll see what ends up happening. But yes, gyro is everything, of course. Once again, space doesn't matter where you are. Gyro is going to work. So
Okay. Mark Sparks, hey JC, if you stand on a step ladder on your roof with your Starlink antenna, your latency will go down.
maybe I'll make like a little aluminum like hat. Maybe that will help too. I'll do an aluminum hat.
Oh my God, Shannon. It's like Cat in the Hat on a
my
Monday.
God.
I was trying to rhyme. I don't know how I came in with underwear.
Thanks, Shannon, for the super chat. That deserves the big heart.
Yes. Read it.
You know, I'm going to read my own super chat.
Well, I was going to have Joe read it.
I'm
He
wearing.
should read
It says I'm
Okay.
wearing my underwear. I didn't have.
No, you have to start from the beginning.
Official purple hair. That's always her official purple
That's
hair,
me.
not mine.
Here, there, everywhere.
I'm wearing my underwear. Didn't have lunch, but at least you didn't have lunch. I didn't have dinner. I did have a little bit of lunch because there is a Starship launch, super chat. All yeah. Let's light that shit up. Yes. So you know what? Where is mine?
It's behind you. Behind me.
Let me see. Is it? Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get it without ripping mine.
You don't
My
sound
headset
like
up.
Dr. Seuss. He didn't sound like Dr. Seuss.
He sucks. He totally
Here we go.
sucks. It says official purple hair. I am wearing underwear. I didn't have lunch because there is a Starship launch super chat. Hello all. Let's light that shit up and send it. Like, subscribe, and share.
And there you go. That's why she's here. All right, here we go. You gonna stay there?
I will slap you. I will slap you, and you
Don't
won't
slap
make
me.
it
Here
to
we go.
the launch.
Because we don't know if it's going to be a big.
It always
Sometimes
is.
it's a little one. Sometimes it's big.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a little one. That's not bad. Oh, here.
Well,
The last time it was
I hope
like
you
this.
guys are just thrilled about that.
Anyways, this is a block 1, guys. Just in case you want to know.
All right. Let's see. My Mick Pletcher. I was recently at the Valley of Fire, holding my Starlink mini dish in my right hand, facing north, while using Facebook Live in real time. It worked perfect.
Isn't that crazy that you can do that?
That's a lot of stuff you were doing, though, Mick.
I mean, that's just cool. That is just. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. That's just
No,
cool.
it is. Let's see. Michael
There's
Hari.
one right underneath it. Yeah, Michael.
I am currently on the residential light, and Starlink has given me a discount code for $90 Canadian dollars per month, but it's only valid for Canadian new subscribers.
Interesting. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Canadian. They do have that deal going on right now. So, and I think they were doing a free mini or something too, which is amazing. Because over here, the cheapest you can get a mini for is $299. So
You
Peter
think
Madsen.
Elon's just trying to piss off the government up there?
probably.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? If the government doesn't want Elon, they could just be like India and be like, no, sorry, you can't. Your shit can't work here, and that's it. And then he's done. That's just how the governments are. And people, I'll get questions sometimes. Oh, can I use it in my country? And the answer is, I don't know, because every country is different. Some people do not want free speech.
Yeah, no, and I feel
And-
like in Canada, Trudeau's kind of been busy with Katy Perry, so I haven't heard a lot of shit on the news about Canada lately.
Did
I'm
you
just
go there?
saying.
Well, Trudeau's not
I mean-
president anymore. Or prime
Oh,
minister.
well, that's true. So I haven't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
kept
yeah.
up. So like,
Yeah,
but
I
like
don't
that
even
was
know.
like, he was like the feather ruffler. So I haven't kept
Yeah,
up with
I don't,
who's there.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
they have another puppet up there now.
Yeah,
It's
well.
crazy. It is absolutely crazy
All
what's
right,
going on.
so Joe Percival, to use Starlink where we live, we'd have to cut down all the trees on our property and our neighbors 3 miles east of Calaveras Big Tree State Park in Western Sierras, California. Well, can't you just climb up one of those big trees and nail it up there?
I've seen people do that. What Fabiola said, it sounds crazy, but no, I've seen that happen.
Listen, if you want crazy,
there
just
was a
stick to
guy
me.
that literally had like 100 and some foot tree.
I
He had
would.
someone go up there and put a Starlink and run the cord down and the whole night, and it worked. So
There you go.
yes, you can do that. Also, you got to understand this: the new Starlink, as they're getting more and they're getting better and better and better, they're using this beam forming technology, and it allows them to hook up to signal even when there isn't signal. And Shannon could attest to this because we tried this when we were in Boca Chica, when we were there for the last launch, right?
Hata Chica.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh my God.
so we were on the like balcony, and we had let's say if this was the dish, instead of pointing out of the balcony, right where it's open air, I kept on moving it like this until finally the dish was pointing straight up to the concrete of the balcony above us. Okay, and it was still working. And I pointed it slightly backwards, and it was still working. Not as well, but that means that it's able to take the signal at this angle instead of like in the past, the dish would have to be like this, getting the signal perfectly. Now it's using this like beam forming technology that can actually pick up the signal. So even if you're in an area that has a lot of trees and stuff, it might still work today. It's getting, once again, better and better and better. Of course, you want to have open air. That's going to be your best
also
signal.
you want to have a tree, I would think, that's sturdy enough, that's not swaying
That's
from
doing
side to
this.
side a lot, and that there's like kind of a clearing, by the
above
other
it,
trees.
maybe at the very top of the
Right.
tree. That's what this guy did. He did
Yeah.
the top of the tree.
I
and
mean,
the
that's
thing
what
worked
I would do.
perfectly. So, anyways, it's something to think about.
John Taylor, thank you very much for your super chat. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank
Thanks for
you,
being here
John.
with us tonight.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Appreciate
Doug
that, John.
Jones sent a whole bunch of poopy emojis, bananas, beers, launching rockets, bombs.
Peter
I love it.
Gossley with the 10 gifted memberships. Did you say that already?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I saw that
I'm
pop
sorry.
up. I just saw it. Peter, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships,
I
Peter.
missed. My bad, Peter.
If you got a gifted membership from Shannon or Peter, please say thank you. That's
Peter had an
awesome.
earthquake down there. In
He
New
did?
Guinea. Yeah.
Oh my God. Where is Peter? In Cali?
New Guinea.
No, New Guinea.
Oh, New Guinea.
yeah.
That's right. He's in New Guinea. Why do I
Speed
always
Racer
forget?
with the super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
Hey,
that.
Stacy Bronze. I wrote it in the chat,
Yep.
but I've been to Brenda. I frequent Baus. My good friend John owns the Ocotillo Lodge, so I'm very familiar. I'm in the race community, so very familiar with this area. Love it. So shout out to Stacy and Brenda, Arizona.
There you go.
Wow.
Let's go over to see what is going on here.
While you
real
do
quick.
that, let me
let me head
Alan
over.
Scorpio, Shopflin, sorry. It's nice how much better Starlink has gotten at my mom's house over the past 2 years. In 2023, she would have outage between certain times, and now she doesn't really get outages, at least regular outages.
Guys, I'm still seeing starting at 6:50 is what they're saying on the site.
What time is that?
6:50.
Is that Eastern, Central?
Yeah,
What
that's
is that?
Eastern.
Okay.
So we're looking at 6 minutes when we're going to be a little bit more quiet, and hopefully the transition works properly. Bear in mind, Shannon, you're going to be on the same feed as they will be.
All right.
So I get to shout over the countdown?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? We got 6 minutes,
Oh, yeah,
unless
Meg.
they push it back.
Meg
all right?
Pletcher,
Throw them in here.
we are seriously looking at buying an RV, and one thing we've seen while researching is how the Starlink minis are now being mounted on the Zenith.
Absolutely.
At the Zenith,
Yeah, at
sorry.
the Zenith. It's honestly the beauty, and I talked about this way back when it was like the Generation 2s, and then finally went to Generation 3s. And I remember saying, I said, listen, everyone, you will no longer have to point the dish any specific direction in the not so distant future. As of right now, there's 8,500 Starlink satellites up there. So you don't need to worry about pointing it anywhere, because you can literally point it straight up and you're good. Straight up and you're good. So definitely, that's it's great. If you are camping, or if you're an RVer, the Mini is fantastic, and you could use it on the go. So really good is like, if, for example, if you are a truck driver, you throw that on the roof, you bolt it on, or you use one of like a magnet system or something. Matter of fact, Shannon sells those. And you could just leave it on your roof, and now all of a sudden you have connectivity anywhere you are. So pretty cool.
I just sold a setup to a truck driver, actually.
There you
a couple
go.
months ago.
See that?
So I ended up on the phone with them, and they told me exactly what they had, and I said, "This is exactly what you need." So, yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let's see. Work harder. Hello from Montana in Billings, Montana. Howdy.
Howdy.
I love Montana. I really do.
pretty.
I learned how to fly fish in Montana, and that's going to be like my next big hobby thing to do. Just saying. So enjoy it.
Absolutely beautiful.
What else? Let's see. Dutch Linux. I give it a 1% chance. Goes nose down. LOL.
You think?
Dutch.
1%.
We have how many minutes? Less than 6 minutes?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. As soon as we see them pop up here, we'll move over. So
Peter
we will see.
Madsen, have you seen my union brother? I feel like I've been missing him. Every time I'm on, he's on, and vice versa. Like Shannon, we're passing ships. But I do keep in touch with him via Instagram, so he's doing okay from what I know.
Yeah. This is something that Shannon sent in. Look at this. Look at that guy. Little robot subscribe dude.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Shannon. A little
I'm
freak.
typing. My
It's a-
screen is too small.
He's a
Oh,
little.
there he is. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, people, when I'm looking over there, I'm looking at the TV, the feed. So, I made him.
That's
did I spell
awesome.
subscribe correctly, or did
No, it's right. Here, I'll run him again.
No, that's great.
Yeah, he's cool.
I like him. Only if he can just carry my laundry and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, that'd be
Like,
nice.
Yeah.
A basket full.
Fold it, hang it, put it
Fold
away.
it, exactly.
Steam it. Then I'll be impressed.
Hey, Joe's gonna see if that'll fit in that space station lounge. These are very difficult to do when you don't know what you're doing. So I just threw like 5 or 10 at him, said, "Here, try these," and there's one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jim Sims, how do I order a magnet set for the Mini? Oh, that would be a Shannon question, right? Shannon, go see Shannon. Shannon put up.
Peter with 20 gifted memberships.
Can Shannon put
Peter.
up his thing on the chat?
Matter of fact, let me see, Shannon. It is Baja Racing Gear.
BajaRacingGear.com, yeah.
How can I order a magnet set for the Mini?
There you go. BajaRacingGear.com. Yep.
Cool.
I just stuck it in the
It's in the chat.
Take a look at the chat. Thank you so much, Peter. Really appreciate that. If you got a super chat or if you got a gifted membership from Peter, say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. Just put Mini in the search box and you'll see everything that's available.
Cool. Let's see. Mick Pletcher, there is also protective covers you can purchase to go over the Starlink Mini so hail and debris don't damage them. Well, go to the link for Baja Racing.
That's awesome.
And
I have those too.
There you go. Type in Mini once you get to the Baja Racing website in the search box and you will get all the things.
Absolutely. Peter Madsen.
Yes, I've been chatting with Peter. Fab,
Awesome.
yes, I answered him. Sorry, my thing just went cuckoo again like it does.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Let's see. Wolf, don't look at me in that tone of voice or I'll ounce you in the shirt. Punch you in the shirt.
So it says starting at 6:50. It is now 6:50. I do not see them as of yet. So
any sign of Mo?
No, haven't seen Mo yet.
Not tonight. Not
Haven't
so
seen
far.
Mo.
And it's early. There where he's at, you'd think he'd be up.
I know, but it's Monday.
Well,
It is Monday.
I got nobody to say boom when I send membership.
That's true. That's true.
Let's see. Shit, someone took it away.
Somebody say boom.
Yeah. Dustin Denton, thank you so much for the super chat. Is everyone boosting to the stars today?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is everyone boosting to the stars today? I'm really excited. Thank you for the super chat, Dustin. I'm excited about this, but this is going to be a wild ride. Like I said from the beginning, this is going to be something that instead of them trying to, let's just say, pussyfoot around with it, they're going to really rip it. And the reason being, it's the end of the block too, right? So they don't need to save anything, all right? They don't need to catch. Matter of fact, that's why they're not catching anything. They're not going to catch the super heavy. They're going to land it in the Gulf, and that's it. So they're gonna push the heat tiles to their max to see if the thing runs, if it blows up, and if it blows up, fine, because excuse me, that's just more data they have for Block 3. So it's exciting. It is definitely exciting. Like I said to you guys before, there's more of you there. When you're done, watching this feed, if you guys want to keep on chatting, talking, and everything, you can go over to here. This is the space station that I put together for you guys. On here, you're going to have the next launch that's coming up, the next 5-10 launches coming up, breaking news in the industry, as well as weather report out of Vandenberg, out of Cape Canaveral, as well out of Boca Chica, the Starbase. You're going to have also solar weather reports. So if you're a ham radio operator or anyone that deals with solar weather, that's going to be there, as well as a ton of other information. So you can hang out, chat with everybody, listen to the beautiful ambient sounds of deep space, no percussion at all, and just chill. You can go to sleep with it, or you can be coding with it, which most of the time what I'm doing is JavaScript and CSS and HTML and Perl script and all this kind of stuff. So anyways, head over there. It's live 24/7, 365. Hopefully, it's currently in beta, so don't forget to check that out.
Okay, let me do some of these real quick.
Let's
How
go
much
back
time
into
do we
here
have?
real quick.
Where are we at?
Yes, we are. It says 6:50, but it's past 6:50. Let me refresh. Let's see if they're up. Here we go. We have something going here. Here we go. Here we go.
It's really loud.
Yeah, I know. Let me turn that down. I'm going to turn down the audio because if I don't, then
Really quick, if you received a gifted membership for Shannon or Peter, please say thank you.
all right, guys. Yeah, that's going to be. You can. So this is it's not going out. We're hearing it, but
It's just
not
really
going
loud in
out.
my ear.
I know.
That's better.
There we go.
Oof.
So I turned the audio down, guys. So this way, I'm hoping, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to turn the audio up because they're going to immediately get upset because it's audio. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Listen for audio now. There you go. Let me know, did anyone get that audio? Did you hear that music playing in the background? Yes or no? In the chat, I want to hear from you. In the chat, did you hear that music? Yes, good. That's all I need to know. That's good. Because if I play that music, it could be elevator, just complete, just shites music. They will demonetize the entire feed. And they'll say that it's copyrighted music. So that's why I never play the music that they play in the background because I've already played this game with these people in the past. YouTube is really, really tough. Really tough. Anyways, so as you can see, we're still on the screen and we're going to have everything that's going on here. You're going to be able to see. So if you have any questions before they go live, any second.
Yeah,
here we go. Oh, here we go. Here they go.
Our questions are going to have to wait, you guys.
Yep, questions
Of the
have
world's
to wait. Here we go.
largest and most powerful reusable rocket, Starship. Today's flight marks our second reuse of a Super Heavy booster and what's expected to be the final launch of our second generation vehicle. I'm Amanda Lee, a build reliability engineer here at SpaceX.
And I'm Jake Berkowitz, a lead propulsion engineer on our SpaceX Raptor team. Today we're coming to you live from Star Factory, just under 2 miles away from the rocket on the pad. Right outside on the lawn, the crowd is starting to gather, and after liftoff, we expect that crowd to head back in to watch the rest of the launch with us and have a party.
And right behind us are 3 generations of Raptor engines, the third of which we're looking to debut on the next generation of Starship. And we'll talk a little bit more about that upgraded rocket later in the program.
Yeah, and if you watched Flight 10, you'll know it was a really, really good day for Starship. All objectives were met, and we got tons of great data to learn from. And today, we're looking to build on the success of that flight.
Yeah, that's right. Like in Flight 10, we're again planning to deploy Starlink simulator satellites as well as test the limits of ship's heat shield during re-entry. A controlled descent, flip maneuver, and soft splash in the Indian Ocean are also planned for ship. And hopefully, our recovery team will be able to deliver some more of those amazing views that we got back on Flight 10.
Yeah, those views are just awesome. Another crazy thing, and for those of you keeping track, today actually marks the 1-year anniversary of our historic first ever booster catch. That was Booster 12. And even though we're not attempting a catch today, every time we launch a Starship, it's a big day. All right, so everyone buckle up because maximum excitement is guaranteed.
All right.
And Dan Hewitt joins us from over near Mission Control. Dan, how are things looking for launch today?
Hey, Jake. Hey, Amanda. Hey, everybody. We are looking great. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. That's right. Right behind me is our Launch Control Center here at Starbase. Flight Control team is on there. They're getting Starship and Super Heavy ready for liftoff. So as you can tell, when we look at the vehicle, prop load is underway. Things are looking good. We did shift our T0 a little bit. We're tracking to 6:23 p.m. Central Time, just a couple minutes into our window. All right, so as we noted, back in August, Flight 10, it did all the things. Did all the things we wanted it to do. Started off with Super Heavy, those 33 Raptor engines igniting, lifting off right at the top of its window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. It was able to do a successful ascent, followed that up with hot staging, Starship's upper stage igniting those 6 Raptor engines, separating Super Heavy, making its way back down. We saw the hot stage pop off. It then completed its boostback burn, put it on the course towards that splashdown zone. It successfully did that landing burn when we intentionally disabled one of those 3 center engines. During the final phase of that, used a backup engine, entered into its final hover, shut down the engines, and then splashed down into the water. Ship, meanwhile, completed full duration ascent burn, got to its planned velocity, successfully put it on that suborbital trajectory, and then it was on to the in-space stuff. That first in-space objective was completed. 8 of those Starlink simulators were deployed. That was the first successful payload demonstration we've ever had from Starship. Each of these simulators, similar in size to the V3 Starlinks that we're going to be launching next year to add significant capacity and capability to the network. Then it was on to our second ever in-space relight of a Raptor engine. That's a key capability for when we're going to do deorbit burns on future orbital missions, and then when we're doing deep space maneuvers. Then on to the critical reentry phase, we're able to get data on the performance of that heat shield, the ship structure, push the envelope on it, using the flaps, got it down to the splashdown zone, did the landing flip, did the landing burn. Killer views from the recovery team, soft splashdown over in the Indian Ocean. We were just about 3 meters off of our target, so pretty much nailed it. It was a huge day, tons of excitement here at Starbase. Just a reminder, though, this is still the early days. I mean, we're on Flight 11 today. There's a lot more we're going to do to get full reusability, increase our launch cadence, eventually start sending missions to the Moon and Mars. I mean, we've got thousands of launches to come. But for now, we're looking good for launch. Toss it back down to Amanda and Jake.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. Starship is the first orbital launch vehicle engineered to be fully reusable, just like a commercial airliner. In fact, to the end, we're actually reflying a Super Heavy booster for the second time today. This booster last flew on Flight 8. So let's just start with how powerful this rocket really is. When you stack Starship up against one of the world's biggest airplanes, the 747, a single Raptor engine is actually double the thrust of all 4 airplane engines put together. So that means the Super Heavy over on the pad right now, with its 33 Raptors, is equal to the power of about 64 747s.
Yeah, that's just crazy, Amanda. The power this rocket generates is incredible. To be specific, it's over 16.7 million pounds of thrust. Numbers almost incomprehensible, but it's just crazy. All right, to break it down, Starship is made of 2 parts. First is the Super Heavy booster, which is powered by 33 of those Raptor engines that run on liquid methane and liquid oxygen. And second is the Starship upper stage, powered by 6 Raptor engines. 3 are optimized for sea level performance, and 3 are for vacuum performance with that larger nozzle extension. All right, it's the Starship second stage that will one day carry cargo, payloads, and people all the way to Mars and beyond.
The Super Heavy booster is designed to launch, separate, flip, and return to the launch site where it can be caught by the chopsticks on the launch tower. However, as previously noted, we won't be attempting one of those catches today. Starship, on the other hand, re-enters the Earth's atmosphere at the conclusion of its mission, steering itself to a vertical landing or catch. And both stages are designed to return to Earth and fly again, making this the first rocket in history that will be fully reusable.
Yeah, and we cannot forget that between the 2 vehicles is the hot stage ring, a structure made of steel that allows the ship's engines to ignite while still attached to the booster, enabling a faster and more efficient stage separation. Right now, that hot stage ring is single use, but in the future, it will be built in directly to the V3 booster forward end.
And finally, the infrastructure built to support Starship is referred to as Stage 0. This includes the launch pads, tank farm, and the launch towers, which hold the chopsticks that catch the Super Heavy booster and eventually will also catch the ship.
Yeah, and to get us ready for launch today, we recently conducted another static test fire, basically where we fire up the engines to mimic a launch without actually launching. We're seeing the booster on the screen right now. It's a crucial milestone to let us know we're ready to go. And then here we're seeing ship. We did this for the second time on a retrofitted mount on pad 1. We had a full 9-second duration burn on all 6 engines.
We should also note that today's launch on Pad 1 is intended to be the last launch on this pad in this configuration. As we head into the next generation Starship flight test program, we'll be modifying Pad 1 to meet the demands of our future missions.
Yeah, and among many other things, we're installing a new orbital launch mount, a new flame trench system, and upgrading the chopsticks for future catches. So until that's complete, we'll be running operations from Pad 2, which will be coming online very soon. All right, let's go over to Hawthorne, where Tyler is ready to talk a little Starlink.
Thank you, Jake and Amanda. My name is Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. Starlink is SpaceX's low Earth orbit, high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity both on Earth and in space. So, Starship is outfitted again today with 4 Starlink terminals, powering those incredible live shots of ship in orbit, through re-entry, and then all the way down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Now, we've had a couple of recent milestones that are worth celebrating. Back in September, we launched Starlink for its 300th time, and this summer, we surpassed 7 million active customers with service available across 150 countries and territories. We've come a really long way since turning on service for our first paying customer in rural Idaho 5 years ago, back in October of 2020.
Maples are looking beautiful.
I'm Wendy Layer. I live in Sandpoint, Idaho, and we are the first Starlink customers.
With Starlink, we didn't have to compromise on where we live due to the lack of technology.
The minute they turned it on, we could stream a movie.
Why couldn't
we
I
could
be the
video
first
chat,
Starlink customer?
We could play games on the internet without a lot of lag.
What the fuck?
I changed jobs
my
earlier this
God.
year, so now I actually have the ability to work remote.
That's so
You're
fucking
right,
awesome.
man.
Program
I'm
runs on
so
the cloud.
done.
I
I'm so
can
done.
send anything I want out to get prices and designs.
I like to bake, so I've been able to
Did you see this?
research recipes and try new things.
Good day, go for a walk.
Good day for a walk.
We can live very rural, and yet we are connected to anybody like in the city.
Oh man, Shannon.
And
I'm
I'm
gonna
happy
bench
to
press
report that Wendy and Sean are still
Fabiola.
Starlink
I ate a
customers
lot
today. So in just over 5 years, we've added dedicated services for aviation, maritime, RVs and rail, and have expanded our emergency response capabilities. We've activated high-quality internet for millions of people, including those that live in some of the most remote places on Earth.
T-minus 18 minutes,
Starlink is
folks.
enabling rural school districts, counties, and tribal governments to offer online access to education, telemedicine, and many other critical services, in some cases for the first time ever. And yet, a third of the planet continues to go without access to reliable high-speed internet, so there's a lot more work for us to do. But Starlink was designed from the very beginning to meet these needs. And as each new version of Starlink comes online, the constellation's capacity and performance increases significantly. The larger V3 satellites that will deploy from Starship will bring gigabit connectivity to users and are designed to add 60 terabits per second of downlink capacity to the Starlink network. That's more than
Gigabit,
20
folks,
times the
gigabit.
capacity added with every V2 mini launch on the Falcon 9. And then on the cellular front, last month, SpaceX announced a deal that provides Starlink with exclusive spectrum for its next generation direct-to-cell satellites, which will be capable of providing broadband service to cell phones globally. Starlink is the largest 4G coverage provider on Earth. Over 7 million people across 5 continents already rely on Starlink to connect their LTE phones to data, voice, video, and messaging, where terrestrial service is unavailable. So we're excited to have the opportunity to help close those coverage gaps and ultimately eliminate mobile dead zones around the world.
They spent over
So,
$17
there's a lot
billion
happening with
on
Starlink,
that spectrum.
and there's a lot more to come. So let's head back to Amanda and Jake at Starbase to take us through today's flight profile.
Thank you so much, Tyler. So today's float profile, we're looking to get our second re-entry with this iteration of ship. And prior to every launch, we work closely with the FAA and international air traffic organizations to efficiently and safely integrate launch and re-entry operations into the airspace.
And we've got a special guest here.
Today.
We're live.
What's up, guys?
How's it
Dude,
going?
what's
Good to see you, boss.
up?
Hi.
Hey,
Good. We're live right now.
We are live right now
Getting ready for
too.
Flight 11.
Oh, I'm waiting for you
How
to
you
come
feeling
like
for it?
and share.
this is the first time that I'm going to
That's
be
awesome.
outside.
Hashtag Elon.
Normally I'm in mission control and stuff,
Okay. Yeah.
but now I'll be standing out in the garden there.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
it's really going to be much more visceral.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna feel
Great
it.
place
It's
to
gonna be.
watch.
It's gonna be.
Have
It's
you
gonna
been
be
out there when
awesome.
it's filtering?
We'll be in here this time, but usually we're out there watching. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All
Good
right,
luck
Later.
and have fun.
Have fun.
That's so cool.
How can I
All
answer
right. So that was an exciting cameo there.
And the answer is yes.
But yeah, starting with liftoff, we'll get into the flight profile here. Super heavy will ignite, 33
Love
engines,
that.
24
Elon
of
just
which are flight
shows
proven
up.
today. We'll power through ascent ahead of hot stage separation, where booster will shut down all but 3 engines. Stage 2 lights his Raptor engines while still
Look at
attached
that.
to super
Gulf of
heavy.
America.
That is what we call hot stage separation. We'll see a directional booster flip and engine relight for boostback. And we'll be intentionally headed to a splashdown in the Gulf with a V3 style landing burn demonstration today.
Meanwhile, SHIP will continue with its ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory, where it will attempt to deploy 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And we're also planning to relay a single Raptor engine. Then it's time for re-entry, where we're once again testing the limits of Starship's heat shield by intentionally removing tiles. The ship will also perform a pretty dynamic banking maneuver that mimics the path of a return to launch site for Ketch that will fly on a future mission. And if all that goes as planned, we'll conclude the test with a landing flip, burn, and soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So definitely another action-packed flight profile, Dan.
This is planned to be the final launch of this version of Starship, version number 2. Right now, we're actively building multiple next-generation V3 Starship and Super Heavy vehicles in the factory, kind of right behind us. So let's take a minute and nerd out a little bit. All right. Those are going to be launching from Pad 2, which is nearing completion down here at Starbase. Both the pad and the vehicles are going to roll in really significant changes. This is building on everything we've learned from all of these flight tests to make a vehicle that we're looking to mass produce. Starting with the Starship upper stage, which is going to look pretty similar on the outside, but it's getting pretty much a complete overhaul under the hood. We're getting major design changes to its propulsion system that's going to accommodate that new version of Raptor, which puts out higher thrust. We're also getting an energy storage upgrades, tons of avionics changes, a lot of things that will enable longer duration missions. One notable thing you'll start seeing on the outside are these new docking adapters, which we'll use when we bring 2 Starships together for propellant transfer.
That's so cool.
That's a core capability of Starship that we're going to demonstrate next year. Bottom line, though, this is the Starship we're planning to use for all of our next major milestones: orbital missions, return to launch site and catch, reuse, propellant transfer, and then making our way to the moon and Mars. Now, Super Heavy, we've shown some of this off, some of this hardware already coming out of the factory. It has upgrades like this, a redesigned fuel transfer tube. That thing's roughly the same size as the first stage of a Falcon 9 rocket. That channels all that cryogenic fuel down to Super Heavy's 33 engines. We made it bigger. It's basically a rocket inside of our rocket that gives us a faster, more reliable flip and simultaneous engine startup. New booster also going to have an integrated hot stage, a lot more vent area, and it's designed to be fully reusable. Pressure from those engine plumes gets vented out, mostly offset just by the pressure in the fuel tank. That is the top of the fuel tank. And then we add a non-structural layer of steel on the top that helps take all the heating. It's mapped to where all the high heating goes. Grid fins also getting a big change, going from 4 down to 3. They're 50% larger, though, much higher strength. They're also going to get used for vehicle lift and catch. That's all made possible. There's a new catch point addition on those grid fins. We've also kind of reclocked their position on the booster. That aligns them with the catch arms. Yeah, we got it right in the middle there. All right, and then powering it all, Raptor 3. Looks radically different, just straight up radical. Tons of major changes. It's coming in higher thrust, dramatic reduction in parts. Tons of control mechanisms moved inside. Our McGregor teams built some additional stands like this one, which essentially is the bottom of a Super Heavy booster. Lets us do gimbal or steering tests. So that's been really exciting to see. We've also been getting vacuum versions of Raptor 3 into test. The first flight engines are already in production and are about to start acceptance testing for Flight 12. So a lot of exciting changes coming, and we're getting ready to mass produce everything, including one of the really key contributors to that rapid reusability, the heat shield tiles. Let's jump over to Tyler real quick in Hawthorne, who's got a really cool look at what's happening with tiles in Florida.
T-minus 12 minutes, folks. 12 minutes.
Thank you, Dan. Indeed, Starship's heat shield is the linchpin to full and rapid reusability. We can't launch, land, refuel, and launch again if we have to spend months refurbishing the heat shield after every launch, like they did in the Space Shuttle program. So, in a future where Starship is flying several times a day, many, many thousands of heat shield tiles will be required. So yeah, we need to get cooking on those tiles, which is exactly what's happening inside the fully automated bakery down at the Cape. In just 3 years, tile production at the bakery has surpassed the total number of tiles produced during the 30 years of the shuttle program. To go from the raw material to a finished tile, it takes about 40 hours. And today, the bakery is producing about 1,000 tiles a day. But it's set up to produce enough tiles for 10 ships per month, which is about 7,000 tiles a day, or a tile off the line every 13 seconds. So yeah, the bakery is well on its way to providing Starship with all the tiles for missions to Mars and beyond. And for today's flight, we've made a modification to the heat shield tiles. Dan, do you mind filling us in on what's being referred to as the Crunchwrap tile?
Absolutely. I always love to get to do a little show and tell. So we've got thousands of these heat shield tiles covering Starship. Now they're kind of all next to each other. There's a small gap in between all of them. You got to leave a little bit of space as that metal underneath will expand and contract. That way they don't crunch into each other and start breaking. However, that lets some of that plasma kind of seep through, and we see really high heating on the sides and then down on the metal. To help fix that, we have this, the crunch wrap that everyone has heard about. So we take essentially that's called Vulcan felt that we then wrap around. And so as these tiles are next to each other, you've got a small bit in between that's going to help offset that heating. It's just one of the ways we're continuing to iterate on this heat shield, getting towards rapid reusability. Hopefully it's going to help Starship live Moss. You know, everything is just going to get us to that end state of a fully and rapidly reusable vehicle. So pretty much the entire vehicle has those on it today. We've done this on multiple Starships previously, but this time pretty much the whole vehicle has it, so that was special for today. All right, enough heat shield tiles. Let's go quick check-in on the pad. So if you did notice, we did shift our T0 just a little bit. We're now counting down to 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time.
I love the Chihuahua.
We shifted a little bit as we were working to finish clearing the range. We're monitoring sea and airspace, both here over the Gulf and in our splashdown location over on the Indian
weather
Ocean.
go,
We
range
were working
operation
with the
go,
FAA, a lot
vehicle
of
status
other
go,
international
winds
agencies to
13
coordinate
miles
all
per
of this.
hour.
Good news, range is currently green. We're able to get everything out of the way that we are tracking in the Gulf. So weather status, I don't even really need to do. Not a cloud in the sky, beautiful day, no probability of violation for launch at this point. We're not currently tracking any issues on the vehicle or the pad. You can see our fill levels are getting up there. We're almost completely done with our propellant
Mitch,
loading.
they're looking at
we've
many
gone
launches
through all of
per
our
week,
checkouts so
which
far
is
this
crazy.
morning, aligning our guidance, navigation, and control system, getting the vehicles ready for prop load, the farm. Everything has gone pretty smoothly so far. We got through our go, no go for prop load. That happens at T-minus 1 hour and 15 minutes. We've been loading fuel and locks on board the ship since about 53 minutes before launch. Booster started just about 10 minutes after that.
Right now.
We continue loading prop until just around 3 minutes before liftoff, and then at that point we'll be ready to go. So bottom line at the moment, we're looking real good. Again, 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time is our target T0, so we're going to keep counting down.
At least they're not trying to compete with Monday Night Football.
Great news so far. Thank you, Dan.
Smart, right?
And we do say it repeatedly because it's important to understand, but these flight tests are all about the data. Data helps us build and fly faster until we're eventually ready to fly people and cargo at scale to Mars. That is our foundational mission and basically just the major inspiration for our work here every day.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Amanda. And our first missions to the Red Planet are just down the road, and we recently shared some exciting news. Starship cargo flights to the Martian surface for research, development, and exploratory missions begin in 2030, and we already have our first customer.
Yeah,
Isn't that
exactly.
Italy?
Starship is open for business, and one of the first payloads will be provided by the Italian Space Agency.
I've heard of that
They
somewhere.
recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the initial Starship missions that deliver customer payloads to Mars. In related news, Starship cargo flights to the surface of the Moon for research, development, and exploratory missions will start in 2028. So a ton of Starship activity to look forward to, and if you'd like to learn more about our mission to making humanity multiplanetary, go ahead and visit spacex.com/Mars.
Thank you, V.
Okay,
for
now
the
as we get
lifetime
closer to
sub.
launch,
Thank you.
development
Thank you so
continues
much.
down here at Starbase, Texas, to shape this growing city into a truly unique place to live and
Appreciate
work.
it.
And part of being a city, particularly one surrounded by nature, is environmental stewardship. The nearby Boca Beach dunes have unfortunately been eroding at an alarming rate for some time, so SpaceX is teaming up with Cameron County and the city of Starbase to stop that erosion and hopefully preserve the beach for years to come.
Yeah, and as one of its first permanent residents and someone who's actually called Starbase home for over 3 years now, I can tell you the beach totally adds to the uniqueness and awesomeness of living here. Starbase is truly unlike any other place on Earth. You know, where else can you see the world's biggest rocket every single day?
Yeah, Starbase is definitely the place to be, and we're always looking for more people to come help build the future of spaceflight.
Yeah, particularly engineers, especially for our propulsion and mechanical system teams.
You could be working on tests just like these ones, proving out the designs of our next generation Super Heavy booster. Fun fact, we actually tested the booster to 13,400 tons of thrust, which is more than the power of 3.5 Saturn V rockets, which is just crazy. We're also looking for civil and structural engineers to help literally build the future.
Whether it's buildings like the Gigabays currently going up at both Starbase and the Cape, each is a massive vertical integration and assembly facility with over 700,000 square feet of workspace. Both sites are currently in progress, actually going vertical as we speak. Or you could be designing the Starship launch sites of the future. There's really no shortage of future to build here. So visit spacex.com/careers to see
2 minutes
all of our
left
openings
until
if you're
all
interested.
propellant, all locks, and
Okay, now
methane
as we head
is
into
on
terminal
board.
count, all eyes are on the rocket.
2 minutes left.
Dan, how are we looking? Are we green?
Amanda, we are so green. Everything's still looking really good. So we've got a green range, not tracking any blockers there to launch. We're continuing to load prop on board the vehicle. We're just about to close
This
out,
is
so we'll
current
close
up
out.
here.
Again, just about 3 minutes and 20 seconds before liftoff. We'll close out on ship, and then booster just about 30 seconds later.
T-3.
And then you end up
No,
with about
4.
11 million
Sorry.
pounds of liquid
4
propellant
minutes,
on board
50
those two
left.
stages.
4 minutes,
After
50.
we're fully loaded on the vehicle, the pad itself gets ready for launch. We do what's called pushbacks. We clear all that prop out of the lines in the tower and the feed system back into the tanks to get ready for launch.
Wait, let me
And
see
then
the other
in the
window
next couple
over
of
here.
minutes, we're going to do our final GNC guidance, navigation, and control system alignment. We're going to arm the automatic flight safety system, and then we're going to do final kind of wiggle checks on the steering for the engines, which we might be able to catch a quick peek at as we get closer to those. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to, that would happen at T-minus 40 seconds. It's built into our countdown. We can pause and wait there for any final checkouts, anything that we need to hold for.
Once we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, a number of events will occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship switches to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. Now, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, if any problems come up, we do still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened and then see if we can proceed again to liftoff.
Yep, however, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be an automatic scrub for the day, as teams would need to refill the deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks at the tank farm before making another attempt.
All right, we are coming up on 3 minutes away from launch. You can see the frost line all the way up. We've just closed out prop load onto the ship. Booster coming up shortly.
T-minus
Yeah, in about
3
10
minutes,
seconds, we'll
folks.
finish
3
loading prop
minutes.
on the booster.
Once
and then
again, this is
we'll
the
have about 11
last
million pounds of that liquid
IFT
oxygen,
of Block 2.
liquid
They're moving to
methane
Block 3.
on board the
So
vehicles.
this is going to
Not
be
currently
a
tracking
big
a reason
one.
to
They're
hold
going to
the
let this
T-minus
thing
40.
rip.
It
And if
can
it blows
pop
up, it blows
at
up.
the
I'm going
last
to guess
moment
if
or
they blow
after
it
we
up, it's going
pass
to be
that
at
gate.
the
We
end.
can always hang out there for
Not
a
at the
couple
beginning.
of minutes.
So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
If we need to, we do have some extra time. We're not constantly topping off the propellant in these vehicles, so we have about a 7-8 minute window where we can wait for any final issues to clear. We're not currently tracking a reason to hold there. Again, our range continues to be green as we look at sea and airspace both out over the Gulf and in our reentry zone out in the Indian Ocean. All right, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go. A lot of things on tap for Flight 11. Planned
2
to be
minutes,
the last
folks. 2 minutes.
launch of this version of Starship and Super Heavy.
This is it.
Once again, we're really focused on getting ship over to reentry. Once we get to that phase, we're going to dive in. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening on our way back through and down to the ground, hopefully out in the Indian Ocean.
There's currently 608,000 people
45.
watching this, and that number will go over to
Should
go
hopefully
over
be
a million.
seeing-
I'm going to guess
You
within
guys-
the next
There's a quick
next couple
wiggle
of
check.
minutes.
Let's make Fab a real housewife of
Checking out the thrust
Loxahatchee.
vector control, the steering
Let's
on
hit
the
that
booster.
like,
We use those
subscribe
inner
thing.
13
Here we go.
engines.
1 minute 30 left. Shannon with
Doing
the
their fun final
free
dance
gifted
before
memberships.
the
If you
big
got a
show.
free gifted membership from Shannon, please say thank you. Say thank you. Thanks a lot, Shannon.
And we'll do that one more time after we
Boom.
cross that T-minus 40 gate.
Things to watch out for. Max
All right,
Q,
range
which
continues
is
to
your
be
peak
green.
aerodynamic pressure, will happen at 1
Still
minute and
not
2
tracking
seconds.
any issues
And then
on
between
vehicle or
230 and 240 of plus, 230, 240, we're going to see
1
super
minute to
heavy
go.
Mako. So that is your cutoff, your engine cutoff, and that hot staging.
As a reminder, we can
Peter
we can
Gosling with
hold at
20
T-40. We're not
gifted
planning to.
memberships. 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. T-minus 40 seconds, guys. T-minus 40.
All right. We're through T-minus 40. Let's listen in. Flight Director Ty Huntington back
Here
in
we
the
go.
seat. Take us through the final
Flight
seconds
directors, go
until
for launch.
Go for launch.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oof. Look at that.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
That's crazy.
It does not get old. Take a look at the lower left-hand corner. You can see all 33 Raptor engines are lit. None of them are out. That's good.
Booster and ship, nominal power and telemetry.
All right, we are about 45 seconds into flight. We're still getting the rattle here at Star Factory. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on Super Heavy as it arcs across the Gulf. Coming up next on
So
Max
crazy.
Q.
Max Q and go.
Thank you, V, for that super chat.
Thank you, Gabriel. Look at that. Max Q. Done. That is the maximum pressure, aerodynamic pressure. So that is... So they passed it.
So at
good.
this point, we've passed through that period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute. At that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super Heavy shut down. Our version of MECO. Most engines cut off instead of main engine. And then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it away from Super Heavy and then start making its flight uphill.
T-minus
so
30
in about
seconds.
30 seconds, we're going to see the engine start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3 center engines that never stop running for this process.
Watch telemetry on the lower left. Watch those
Raptors.
engines. Right now, all 33 are lit. You'll see them slowly go off.
All right. MECO coming up in about 10 seconds. See the engines throttling down.
Booster engine cutoff.
There they go. Only the 3
Ship
internal
ignition.
engines. And then you'll see boost back right here. That's
Stage
that.
separation.
That's as the Super Heavy
Boost back
be coming
burn
back
startup.
down.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly,
Ship
though,
chamber
we've got
pressure's
6
nominal.
out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer space. Meanwhile, this boost back is happening. We're using those 13 engines, so everything, well, 12 out of the 13, and then we go down to 3, and then we're going to shut down for the end of boost back. That's sending Super Heavy back towards its planned splashdown zone in the Gulf.
This is where they end up having
Right
problems.
after we finish this boost back burn, we're also going to separate the hot stage. This will be the final time
Boost back
that we're
burn shutdown.
doing this. Is all right, there's the end of the boost back burn.
Keep watching telemetry
Should
on the
be seeing
right-hand
the hot
side.
stage.
Those 6 engines are lit as they should be.
So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down, also splash down in the Gulf. In the meantime, though, these 6 ship Raptors are going to continue firing for about 5 more minutes. Next up for the booster, though, is going to be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in. All right, so for booster, this is one of the main things we're trying to get is going to be this landing burn. Oh, that's so you can see the hot stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump happening.
That's the last time we'll see that. From now on,
they look like they're close together,
that staging
but there's a
ring
good
will
amount
be
of distance
attached
between them,
It won't
and
be
the hot
separate.
stage will go down and splash down in the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing burn.
That is amazing.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
All right, looking good on our trajectory, looking good on everything. Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
And that's just sitting there free falling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The crowd is gathering over here in
Hot
the office.
staging
You
ring,
can
free
definitely
fall
feel the
into the
energy in
Gulf.
here. Great to see that booster is making its way down to the splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Look at those fins.
Yeah, the shaking down here was absolutely nuts. The windows are still there, still intact. So
I didn't
that was
see
pretty
any
awesome.
engine failures at all.
But yeah, boosters coming
There was
down.
one
We're at
engine
about
out
30
of the 13
kilometers.
that's running on 12, but that's no problem.
All right, yeah, and as we approach that landing, just like tower catches, we will be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow down. This
And they're
time it
just
will be in a
ditching this in the
V3
ocean, right?
configuration.
Yeah, but they're going to really push this thing kind of
And as we're
like
starting to get into the
belly
denser part of
flop.
the atmosphere, the booster
Okay.
is using 4 hypersonic grid fins to
And
guide
then they're gonna
itself
bring it
through
back in,
atmospheric entry
flip it
towards its
around.
landing site.
And we're just
Ship
about
chamber
20
pressure's
seconds away
nominal.
from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing.
They'll only
And finally,
ignite-
that will come down to
We'll
3.
see if
and
all
we'll cut of
13
them off
ignite.
while
Just
we're
watch
still
telemetry
about
on the
200
left-hand
meters in the
side,
air. So
or if only
booster is
12.
gonna see a bit of a
There we go. They all went
Booster
up.
landing, we're started.
So the one that didn't went out came back on. Perfect. That's exactly what they were looking for. There you go. Down to 3. And into the Gulf of
Booster
America.
landing, we're shut down.
And there we heard it. Booster landing burn shut down. We saw
Okay,
a
see,
13
that's
to
what I
5
like
to
to
3
hear.
Look at that, look at that.
V3 demonstration.
Oh.
And into the water we go.
So they usually, instead of allowing it just to go into the water
Absolutely
easily,
awesome. If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was
is amazing.
incredible.
so instead of going into the water softly, they went in very hard, so it blows up. This way, there's not so much debris that floats into Mexico, just so you know.
Minutes left in this ascent burn, so we've got all 6 Raptor engines still firing.
This is where stuff usually goes sideways between 7 minutes plus 7
the
and plus
the next
8.
major milestone we're going to be looking
We end up
for
seeing
is
problems
Seco.
happen.
That's
Let's
our second stage engine
hopefully that
cutoff.
doesn't
That's,
happen this time.
should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds into flight, so we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see Booster go through that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. Is that's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing. Oh, we just got our sonic boom. Sounds like from the booster
Did you hear it?
coming
Yeah.
back.
It's crazy.
All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those 3 center engines. So we should be a little under a
Look
minute
at that shot.
until Seco. Just a reminder, this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just going slow enough that we're not going to achieve full orbit. This puts us on a course where those engines shut off, and no matter what, we're coming back.
Starship is in
landing
terminal
zone.
guidance.
Nice.
In the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the shutdowns come up in just a couple
I
seconds.
agree, Peter.
Less than 30 seconds to
The
go
quality
in this ship ascent burn.
of these images are next level. It's beautiful.
Craft is going at 25,000 kilometers per hour. There you go. Look at telemetry,
All
lower
right,
right-hand
RVACs
side.
have shut off.
You can see the RVACs are off. You only have the 3
more to go.
internal engines going.
Are there any dummies in the Pez this time?
Yes, 8.
Ship
so there's
engine
going to
cutoff.
There we go. All engines are off. Thank God there was no problems. We're going to now see those 8 dummy SpaceX Starlink satellites launch. That's a big, big thing. So they figured out pressurization problems
All
last
ship
time.
Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
Perfect.
You just heard nominal orbital insertion, so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot planned for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make its way to the water, but I'm excited to see what ship can do in space. How's everybody doing down there?
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, if you could hear the crowd behind us this whole time,
You're going to see
people are definitely happy
the vehicle
with
is
how
going to
the
go
day's
from
been
like
panning out so
this
far.
to like
Definitely
this.
exciting to see
And then it's going to
Starship
open
safely in
up
space,
the
and
bay
super pumped to see all the
door.
team's
Let's
hard
call it
work
the
in
Pez
action here
dispenser.
today.
It's going to slide it open.
Yeah,
and
we
it's going to launch
guaranteed it at the
off
start of the
8
show, but it has
of
been
these
an
dummy
awesome
SpaceX
day so
Starlink
far.
version
It's
3
crazy. All this
satellites.
has
So
happened
let's
in just
watch for
10
that.
minutes. All the objectives were met on the booster, including that V3 style landing burn. So now all eyes are on the ship as
Was
we
that
get
just
ready
like
for
a
our
debris?
in-space objectives.
There's a
But we've
chunk
got a
that
few minutes
flew.
until that next
Yeah.
milestone, so
Yeah,
sit
it's,
tight,
could be
enjoy the
chunks of
views,
ice.
enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
Wow.
And there we go. There we go, guys. So we're going to let that stay on screen. I just turned that their volume down. So this is, like I said, where normally things start getting crazy. Dicey, but it didn't. And there was no issues at all. So this is really good because now we're going to see if that bay door opens like it's supposed to open. And then it's going to launch out 8 of those dummy version 3, SpaceX Starlink version 3 satellites to make sure that that actually works. Then it'll close the bay door again, continue on its merry way, and then finally it's going to end up in the Indian Ocean where it's going to splash down. They're also, what's going to be, hopefully it'll work out, they're going to land it in the Indian Ocean, but in the exact telemetry where it's, or the exact location where it's supposed to land. So within not 3 feet or 6 feet or 9 feet, but within centimeters of exactly where it needs to land. And the reason being is, remember, this will need to be caught on the Mechazilla arms just like Super Heavy is caught, right? So eventually, when this goes into quote-unquote production, you're going to have 2 launch pads, and what will end up happening is Super Heavy will land on one as it comes back. Instead of landing in the Gulf of America, would land on those chopsticks. And then once this is done with its, let's say, deployment of SpaceX Starlink satellites, it will go around the planet once, and then it'll come back down, and it will land on the other available empty launch pad with the other Mechazilla arms. So you'll have Super Heavy sitting right next to the Starship, and then they will once again move those off, and then another set would come, or another single stack would come to do it again. And they're looking on doing this like 2 times, 3 times a week eventually. So this stuff that we're going to be watching now is very, very interesting. I'm going to keep this full screen. We're going to remain really small. You know, the size of a thumbnail, a little, but that's okay because I want you to be able to see this. This is where, once again, things get dicey when they start up those engines, and we ended up seeing some problems. But this time, I don't think we will. This is just so smooth right now. It's amazing. Look at the telemetry and watch on the upper or on the lower right-hand side. You can see the attitude of the ship. Once again, when it does deploy those Starlinks, it will be in this type of configuration, right before it starts heading back in. So that's what we're going to look for. I think they said plus 16, I think 16 minutes later or so.
Plus
Somewhere on there.
16.
Yeah, so
we're at plus 13
yeah,
right
so
now.
we'll just keep on watching that and see. The fireworks show is going to happen when it re-enters. Right now it's suborbital, right? So once it comes back into the atmosphere, it's not going to be coming in like this. It comes in belly first. That's why on the whole underbelly, it's black. All those that blackness is all the tiles, all those ceramic tiles that you saw. So that whole belly is filled with these tiles to be able to absorb literally multiple thousands of degree Fahrenheit plasma pouring off it as it's going through the atmosphere, right? So that's when things get dicey. And that's when we see sometimes the flaps, the skin, the stainless steel start melting off. And that's all you end up, those right there. Those flaps are the things you'll start seeing plasma pouring off it. And that's when we start getting into some iffy stuff. So hopefully, right, it doesn't happen this time. We will see. But that's kind of what we're going to see coming up in the next, let's call it 10 minutes. So watch for that. Right now it's going to get dark, and they do this on purpose, but they launch late at night so that you can see the launch, but then also you will see in the Indian Ocean, it'll be daylight. So they kind of do it specifically like this at the specific time. So this way you can see the launch and you can see the landing. And this is really good for their cameras, because there's going to be a buoy camera out in the Indian Ocean that will take photographs, take video, and we'll be able to actually see it land. So anyways,
all right,
let's just see what goes on here. Any questions? Let's throw them in there right now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to catch up with that. But before that, I just want to give a shout out again to Shannon and to Peter Gosling, because you guys through this whole thing have continued to bomb everyone with gifted memberships. So please, if you have received one of these gifted memberships, please give a shout out and say thank you. It is truly much appreciated.
For sure.
And a lot of people are typing in the chat, which we all agree, the images coming through, I mean, it keeps getting better. It looks amazing. It's crazy, really, what we're seeing. Someone said, I forgot their name, imagine if Apollo would have had that type of imagery back in the day.
And remember, right now, the images that you're seeing are so dark, and the reason being, it is pitch black. This is the darkest night right now. There is no sun on anything.
Okay, they're back. I can hear them talking. We're at plus 16.
Getting ready for payload deploy. That's going to start once we get the payload door open. That should be happening, or at least starting, within the next minute or so. It's been a really cool flight so far. Quick look inside the payload. We've got 8 Starlink simulators getting ready to make their way into outer space. But great flight so far. Booster able to make it all the way to its splashdown and landing burn experiment, so that was really exciting to see. We got ship on orbit, nominal orbital insertion, so right on the money with its trajectory. Now we're ready to start tackling a couple of in-space objectives. So next up, we are currently venting down the nose cone, essentially the payload area of Starship, as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first time on our last flight, on Flight 10. Oop. Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening up the payload door already.
Good job, Hal.
Go, Hal, go.
The first time they didn't vent it out, it was too pressurized. They couldn't open the bay door. They figured it out on the second one, and they opened it. So this time, you saw that smokiness
All right, looks
kind of
like we
pour
got
out.
the door open.
They vented it, so that's why the door opened very easily this time. So those 8 Starlinks are on that contraption. It looks like an elevator dead center of you. It's going to slowly move out. It will launch one, then the next one, and then move up again, and then launch another 2.
Starlink simulators.
You'll do that 4 times. And what's nice is they actually have cameras behind it, so you'll actually be able to see them launch these
Starlink satellites that Starship's going to be
Is that
carrying.
dust or air freezing
That's
inside?
going to add some pretty crazy capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little bit. We were able to do this for the very first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple of tweaks to the rails for deploying this based off of what we saw last time, but excited to see these get out the door.
That's just amazing. So on the right-hand side, that little slit of light, that is the bay door open already.
It's going to deploy these
ready to deploy these satellites.
But looking to see our next demonstration of this, hopefully in the next couple of seconds, we should start seeing them move out the door.
There will be even a better shot once they start launching satellites.
That view on your left, so you're basically
right behind where they're launching them. You'll be able to see out into space.
Down. So
Peter Gosling, thank you so much for the 10 gifted
4
memberships. Thank you. Thank you.
So 8 total. When we start flying Starlinks, for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So much larger stack once we start flying these operationally, but still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deployed today.
60 Starlinks at a time, not 28 or 25 like now. And bear in mind, these satellites will be 10 to 15 times the capacity of each one that they launched today.
Coax it out. Get
Do
it
the
moving,
math.
Jake.
There we go.
Here they go. This is the, look at that.
Out.
You're looking at a satellite, a dud satellite being launched into space. There you go. One is gone. Now it grabs the second one and it'll
Getting
launch
ready for the
that.
second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
So basically, this is just practice.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes about a minute for each one.
There goes another one. And then like an elevator, it will lift the entire contraption to the next one and then be able to launch the next ones. Here we go.
Looks real
You see the
smooth.
gears
They made
spinning
a
right
couple
now?
of tweaks to those rails.
It's going to start moving it down.
Watch the last ones. It had a couple of bumps on the way out, but moving out super clean this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show,
There
but
we go.
definitely worth repeating,
There's the next
Starship
set.
will deploy Starlink's more advanced V3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know Starlink's kind of the MVP for these flight tests, where it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now, but also just real-time data through every phase of flight. So we've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the globe, including out in the Indian Ocean, where we've got our fun buoys floating. There goes another one.
Wow. YouTube.
And I mean, we're using Starlink to bring all of this together. It's our drone shots you see here from our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along for all these Starship flights.
Absolutely amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing.
I think that's number 4. Somebody check my math.
Yep. You can see the chain spinning
Yeah, we've
on the
got
right-hand side.
4 Starlink terminals on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation. And through that, we actually get about 120 megabits of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's not just kind of giving us these cool views inside, but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including re-entry, when normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink, powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view. All right, next one out the door. There we go.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet.
Hopefully the door
This provides
closes.
internet access to people around the world,
No, it'll
many
close.
of who have never had
Yeah.
connectivity before.
There goes another one. You can kind of see it right there on the upper area of your screen. You can see it.
Right, today Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets with over 7 million active customers and counting. To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
All right, couple more to go. I promise one of these days we'll deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views for the daytime.
They do look like pizza racks.
Right? There it is.
All right, I think we got one more to go.
One more.
What's the total amount?
8. That was 8 of them.
Okay,
Yep.
8. That's right. You said 8.
Yeah, it was 4 racks of 2, so it's 8 altogether. And then you'll see that bay door close, and then they're going to move on to the next phase.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor Relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown. So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
I want to see that bay door close. Come on.
Oh, they're happy.
Oh my God. The average age is about 23.
You know,
Look at the door. Look at the door. Do you see the slit? It's gone. It worked. There you go. There's your point. There's your answer, Shannon. It closed.
Imagine how proud they gotta be about their.
All right, with that payload door closed, we're going to sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again,
Absolutely.
We'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor Relight and then head back for reentry.
All right. I'm going to turn them down for now.
So what, we're
And,
at plus 26, right?
Yep. So in 10 minutes is when we're going to see, so at T plus 37 minutes, that's when we're going to see the Raptor in-space relights. I think they're going to do multiple, but we'll see. And then at T plus 47 minutes, that would be 10 minutes after that, that is when we're going to actually see the reentry. That's when things get dicey, folks. So that's the exciting time for me. Figure on when it gets dicey, it gets nasty. So right now we're at T plus 27. If you don't want to hang out to see the relight is also exciting. You never know what's going to happen. But if you want to see something amazing in 20 minutes, which would be T plus 47 minutes, come back in 20 minutes and you'll be able to actually see it land in the Indian Ocean. And not just the landing, but the actual coming through the atmosphere where you see the plasma buildup and the multiple thousands of degrees of plasma pouring off it. And we're going to see, are the flaps going to melt? Is the skin going to melt off it? Or is it going to not? How is the TPS system, the thermal protection system, working? Is it working well? Is it not? We will see. This is going to be really, really big. This is, once again, the very last launch of a Block 2. We're going to move into Block 3 now. And I know that these folks are very excited for it because Block 2 has been a thorn in their side ever since the beginning. They've already blew up. IFT-7 blew up. IFT-8 blew up. IFT-9 blew up. And it wasn't until IFT-10 they actually were able to have a Starship return to Earth where they got some TPS data, once again, thermal protection data to find out were those tiles working, and if they were, which ones were working. Were the normal dissipation of heat using the ceramic working, or were the ones that were cooled, actively cooled, or the ones that had a metallic coating or whatever. Now we have the crunch wrap. Once again, an homage to Taco Bell.
Liv Moss.
Liv Moss, I think he even said. So really cool stuff. Really cool. So once again, if you want to get back in 20 minutes, come back. Let's make it 15 minutes. And if you want to see the Relight, that's going to be in about a little bit under 10 minutes at this point.
Just some quick comments. Go config. All the youthful enthusiasm give me hope for the future. Agreed. Andrew Lee, secondary mission objective complete. And let's see. Play it for the tradition. SpaceX can do 30 minutes or less pizza delivery globally soon.
Could you imagine?
Michael Johnson. I assume they somehow unvent the inside chamber as it re-enters to keep it from imploding.
That's yes. So they vent it and then they pressurize. Basically, is how they do it. They need to do that. The problem was the original, when they tried doing this for the first time, they couldn't figure out why the bay door wouldn't open. And, obviously sometimes just because you are a rocket scientist, sometimes the easiest answers are the hardest ones to figure out. And it was just simply pressurization. It was overly pressurized. The door couldn't open. It was like pushing on itself. It couldn't slide. The mechanism couldn't. And once they vented it on the IFT-10, the last launch, boom, the door opened up immediately without a problem and closed perfectly. So yes, pressurized and then depressurized, pressurized, depressurized.
Bajarn said, I have a feeling that everything will go as planned. Dwayne Jenkins, this has come so far in a short amount of time. Great work, Joe.
Thank you.
Let's see. Standing mannequin. I see where the hollow earth begins.
Yes. Do you see it?
That's pretty cool. A lot of people were talking in the chat that they should have the cameras on the outside so we could get that perspective, right?
Well, they have cameras on the outside. That's why we can see the bay door, that little slit open up.
Like to see.
But the only way
at some point, I guess, right?
Well, so if they were, it was like what they were talking about. It's a trade-off, okay? So you can have it so that you are in light, right? When you open up the bay door so you can see the satellites launch, right? Or you could be in light or in dark as they did it, and then be in light when they land in the Indian Ocean. So it just depends on launch time, launch availability, go, no go. There's a lot of things that go into when a launch can happen and what you see. So as you can see right now on the screen, it's starting to get lighter, right? You can see it's getting a little bit brighter because once again, we're going around the planet and there will be a sun up. You will see the sun start peeking through. And at that point where it says S38 for ship 38, you're going to be able to read that perfectly. So just bear in mind, just hang in there. What I like to look at, exactly, hopefully it doesn't burn up. What I like to look at is telemetry on the lower right-hand corner. Do you see the attitude of the ship is kind of like this? See, north is like this, or north is that way, however you want to look. It's like this, okay? Which is perfect. What we saw in the past, all of a sudden, we saw the ship start doing this thing, right? And it starts doing this barrel roll nonsense. Well, that's bad. That's bad. So watch the telemetry down there. You really get an idea of what's going on. Currently, the ship is at 170 kilometers in space. Remember, SpaceX Starlink, actually, their operational altitude is 320 to 340 kilometers in space. So it's basically double the altitude of what the ship is currently at, just so you get an idea. That's why people are like, oh, well, these work. No, they won't work because they're very far. They're a far distance away from a altitude of working. Their functioning altitude. Once again, 330, 340 kilometers. The ship is currently at 167, and it's traveling at 26,000 kilometers per hour, which is crazy, right?
Okay.
Any questions at JCristina?
Yes, I'm trying to just catch up on a few. I can't go all the way back, but
thank you for all the super chats and all of the gifted memberships and all that stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Michael Johnson, I assume they somehow unvent. Yeah, we did that one. Sorry. Yeah. Let's see. Wolf and Red Dwarf is watching from a distance.
Yes.
Chad Kelly, when do you think they will deploy real sats?
Real satellite deployment, I want to say maybe ship, let's say IFT 13 to 15. That's my prediction. We'll see.
All right. Doug Jones, Fab, notice the flaps have unique heat shields this time.
Yes, yes. And they, if you notice too, they wrap around a little bit more. So yes.
Let's see. Hold on. Because some.
You're going with 17? All right, 17. Right. Yeah, I said 13 to 15. I mean, possibly, I mean, it really depends. Honestly, it depends on how version 3 goes. Remember, it's a new pad, it's a new ship, it's a new everything. So I would say that the beginning is going to be rough. I mean, it's good. They're going to have some crap to work out. Anyways, let's get back into questions.
Donald Reed, with the V3 Maxis, do they still target 42,000 in orbit?
I'm not really sure, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Chuck 8541 and Michael Johnson. Are we tumbling? Is the ship tumbling?
I'm watching it.
Okay.
I don't see it tumbling.
Okay, maybe that was a little bit ago though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see. Michael Johnson looks like the Enterprise flew into the nebula. Memorable places.
I like that.
Memorable places. Amazing how fast they progress. SpaceX's first successful orbit launch was its 4th flight of the Falcon 1, which occurred on September 28, 2008. Starlink's first 2 test satellites, February 2018.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. Doug Jones said spinning. Let's see.
I saw a little bit of light there, guys. You see a little bit of light.
Peter Madsen. It is crazy. The video
here
quality.
We go. They are back.
Successfully deployed its second ever payload, 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And now we're expecting the relight of a single sea-level Raptor engine in space coming up here just after T plus 37 minutes. So about a minute left to go.
Watch telemetry there.
Just
Lower.
a little while. I think we're tracking to
lower,
37
right.
in around
Lower right.
49 seconds or so. So we should be just about a minute and a half. Where, again, as Amanda just said, we're going to relight one of those center engines. This will be the 3rd time that we've tried this. We did it successfully back on Flight 10, and then we did it for the very first time back on Flight 6. This is not a deorbit burn. This is demonstrating essentially all of the systems you would need to do a deorbit burn. So that's obviously your Raptor engine, and then also your header tanks, your smaller tanks in the nose cone, where we have liquid oxygen, liquid methane in a smaller, more easily pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns. And we're also going to tap into those when we do our landing burn. So this will be a critical capability once we go to full orbital missions. You'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth. So this is just going to demonstrate the capability.
T-minus
of
20
turning one of these
seconds. 20
engines
seconds.
on. We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that.
Watch telemetry, lower right-hand corner. You'll see one of them pop up.
30 minutes ago. Here we go.
Oh,
there it is.
And shut down.
And that's it. Just like that.
All right,
that is a win.
Raptor relight. Looks like engine 3 full duration. As Dan mentioned, that's a 3rd attempt, and we just did it 3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship team, Raptor team. And then there we heard nominal 2nd orbital insertion. All right, so congrats everyone on the milestone. That was awesome to see. We're 3 for 3. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. We'll see you soon.
There it is. There it is, guys. They did it. Oh yeah, it could be a chunk. It could be like ice buildup. There's all kinds of space poop that's inside there. Do you remember the last time we saw that inside? Oh, we got light now. You see it's starting to get bright now. We're going to start getting some really good pictures, guys. Some really good pictures. Keep watching. Keep watching. Anyways, so yeah, we didn't see any fire, which is nice. No fire. Now we're going to start seeing some flames. And these flames are due to re-entry. This is just because of the amount of heat buildup as this thing comes through the atmosphere. So you just watch the altitude, watch what's going on with the altitude. Right now we're at 133 kilometers. You're going to see the vehicle start dropping. We just dropped the entire 1 kilometer, so we're at 132, and so on and so forth. Just keep watching, and as it gets lower, the flames are going to get worse and worse and worse. So just hold tight, hang in there. Any questions? Let's see.
Shannon
here.
just did a whole holy cow of memberships.
Holy God, 50! Holy shit, Shannon! 50. Oh, that's true.
I said, "Holy cow!" He ruined it.
I'm sorry. I thought it was Free Speech Friday. Sorry,
it's
guys.
your fault, Shannon. Though.
Folks, Free Speech Friday.
Peter.
On Fridays at 8:30 p.m.
Donald Reed said a piece of something flew off.
Yeah, it could have been a piece of something. It could have been just ice. Who knows? It could have been. Yeah, we could just call it.
All right, I have a
space
question
poop.
for
Space
some of
poop.
us that are completely ignoramuses when it
Yes,
comes
go
to
ahead.
this. They look like little bugs that whiz through
Little bugs?
in there.
It's dust. It's
Okay.
it's little.
But it just
little,
kind of picks up
yes.
so fast. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought I was seeing something like
No.
woo.
No. No.
Stop it.
So, okay, so on re-entry, there's multiple ways to come in, right? You could come in hot or you can come in slow.
Michael Johnson said, Shannon, we can't hear you.
Oh, can't hear Shannon? Hold on a second. Hang in there. All right, so here's a problem. Let me see. How are we going to do this? Okay, I figured it out. Okay, good. Shannon, we can hear you now, Shannon.
Can we hear all of us now?
Yes, we can hear Shannon.
That means they didn't hear me say space poop. But anyway, my question to Joe was, if the re-entry at the speed that they're going causes all this friction and the shit to get hot,
right?
Why can't they just creep in at like 5 miles an hour?
Because the way that it comes in, remember it. Here's my craft.
Vajo Jurgen said, Shannon, plug your plug in.
Plug your plug in, Shannon.
I was plugged in, but he had to mute me when I went to the bathroom earlier because I forgot to mute myself.
So to slow down, it takes propellant, right? So everything that they do is to use the least amount of propellant possible. Matter of fact, in the last test, let's say, they came in, instead of coming in slightly angled, which would actually be faster, they almost belly flopped to produce the most amount of friction as possible. And as you exert more friction on the ship, it slows it down, okay? You're using atmospheric drag to slow down the ship. But when you do so, it takes a ton of heat. So, it's like, you either use more propellant or you use less propellant, and you come in at a higher attack, let's say an angle or a lesser angle. All those angles is going to make a big difference on the speed, but then also the amount of friction, let's say, the amount of heat buildup. So their goal is to bring it in almost like a belly flop, maximum amount of heat, slow it down as much as possible, flip it like this, flip it at the last second, fire off all 33, let's say, or all engines, that this would be 13, right? And then be able to land it. Here we go. Now that is a nice picture there, guys. Look at that picture. Now we're getting some daylight. That is pretty.
Didn't we see that maneuver in Space Cowboys with Clint Eastwood?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
I think so. So it's T minus, let me see, T minus 3 minutes when we're going to see the re-entry. So that's what they say, right around 47 minutes plus 47. But we're seeing already the heat building up. And this is pre-re-entry, even though it is kind of re-entry
Look
as
at
it
that
is.
picture, though. That's ridiculous.
We are, let me see. Yeah, they're still
Someone said
off.
it's AI.
It's
Doug
AI.
Jones.
It's AI. But look at the altitude, guys. We're down now from 133 kilometers. We're down to 103 kilometers. Big. This is where we're going to start seeing the speed decrease. Right now, it's still going to keep on increasing because remember, we're getting closer to reentry. But as soon as that happens at about T plus 47, you're going to start seeing the speed change and you're going to see that altitude seriously drop. Right now we're at 101 kilometer altitude. And look at the orientation of the ship. Do you remember how the ship was flat, like belly? Right now the orientation is almost straight up and down. So it's coming through the atmosphere like this. And as it gets lower and lower, it's going to slowly start angling like this. So the entire belly of that ship that has all of the tiles on it will be able to absorb all of the heat. Because if it was to come in the opposite way, where the tiles aren't, it would burn up in no time. It would just melt within seconds. So just keep watching the orientation of the ship and keep watching the altitude and the speed.
Energy.
Here we go. And they
of course,
back.
Starlink is a big part of this, giving us the views we have right now, and also letting us gather as much data as possible, which again is really the main reason why we do these flights.
Like,
and the view we have right now
like,
is actually
share,
a really good example,
subscribe,
as we
thumbs
mentioned
up,
at the beginning of the
thumbs down,
broadcast.
all of it.
We have some
It's
tiles
coming right
on
now.
the leeward side of the flaps here. And
now
we
look
have
at these
some
tiles.
mechanisms,
Look at these
some
tiles.
stud out, basically to see if these tiles will hang on. And
Shannon,
we can see already here. It looks
I'm
like we
trying
got
to be the
most of them, but I
Loxahatchee
think I see a couple there
housewife,
that are
so
no
I can
longer
go
there.
with Sandra to the casino.
The thermal team is definitely going to be digging into that and taking that data to help us iterate on V3. So yeah, Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does manage to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Isn't that like
that blanket of plasma distorts
miles per
communication
hour
frequencies,
Something
so
like
it's
that.
not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Like that. There's a blackout right there.
All right, so big picture here. Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like the Space Shuttle. Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
And they're jumping now.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing
What
some
can we do for
call-outs
400
when we hear entry max heating and entry max Q. That means the ship has made
Flaps
it
up
through
control of the
maximum
vehicle.
heating and aerodynamic loads it will
You hear that?
experience as it returns. So if it
Flaps
makes it
have
through all
control
of
of the
those, that's
vehicle.
a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
754.
Yeah, and we heard flaps have control of the vehicle now.
Perfect. There we go. Here we
Okay,
go.
there's a
Here we
great
go.
shot there. You're starting to
Now
see the
we're going to
plasma
start seeing
build up.
it. This is what I was telling you guys about. This is the light show. This is plasma. Multiple thousands.
So we will hear a
of-
call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic
Multiple
refers to the
thousands
period of
of
flight where the
degrees
velocities of
Fahrenheit.
airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85, which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over
26,000.
26,000 kilometers per hour. So compare that to the airplane at 930. It's like pretty crazy how fast we're going here. All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic, we should hear the call out that Starship is subsonic. Subsonic, of course, refers to the speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down, and we'll be looking a little bit more like some of our suborbital flights from, at this point, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Look at
so
that.
re-entry
Now
so
you can
far
actually
is looking
see
pretty good.
the
You can
Pez
see that
dispenser,
plasma
the door is
field.
perfectly sealed.
Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially, we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back on Flight 10.
I have a quick question.
Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship
Can
makes
they
it
actually
through.
lift a large
This
payload,
time,
or have they
we're
been able to
really
lift a
pushing
small
it. We've removed
payload
these
to this
tiles
point?
in some of the spots
And they need
that
a
see
huge
the
increase in
highest
thrust from
level
the
of
new
heating.
Raptor?
And we remove tiles that have zero backup protection underneath. So there's essentially just bare steel. It's one of the heat of re-entry.
All right, so now like watch those.
And so do not be surprised if this is not a very smooth flight on the way down. But again,
I told you
this
they were
is
going to
intentional.
twist
We are
it.
trying to find what are the limits
They are pushing
for
it.
ship. How
Because this is the
resilient
last
are we
one of the
to
Block
these
2.
different issues
This is
that
smart.
could pop up? If we lose a
I don't see
tile
anything yet.
anywhere in the vehicle, we want to know what
far,
that
so good?
ultimate
They
impact
so far
is
so
going
good.
to be.
These
So
flaps are hanging
we've got
in there.
a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top. So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures during this re-entry, and there's just bare steel right underneath it. So we're going to see if Starship's robust enough to pull through that. Also
See
has
if
some
it melts.
tiles
I see
missing
a few
around the
sparks on
aft
that,
flaps,
left view
specifically on the
over there.
leading edge. So again,
Yeah.
we're getting a really good look right at the leading edge. That's getting
Oh,
really intense heating. So again, gonna see if it can make it through. See if all the flaps hold on. See if Starship holds together. But definitely could be a bumpy ride. But
well, the space
this is why we're
shuttle,
flying. This is why
NASA
we're
was
flying
able
in
to
this part of the
figure out
world.
for
This
the
is
most
why we're
part. I
putting
think
Starship
NASA
through
with
these
the
flight
space shuttle,
tests
the
to
biggest
really
problem they
understand
had
what
were
its
the-
limits are.
The tiles falling off,
So we can
right?
then move
Correct.
on to
Yeah,
the next
the
thing.
tiles falling off.
Just going to be bringing ships
They
back
didn't use
to the
Gorilla
launch
Glue.
site for a catch. But for now, still on the
Gorilla Glue
suborbital, the light show continuing.
But,
Keep following it
you
in. I think
know,
we got about 15 minutes
they're gonna figure it out,
until
like
splashdown.
you said.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
gonna figure it. Somebody's gonna figure
Yeah,
it out.
Dan, it looks, you can see
Hopefully this
our
one goes
speed,
well, and
our
Yes.
speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off
Yeah,
velocity. a
now
little
we're
quicker.
starting to. Now we're down from 26,000 kilometers to 24,000
Ship is entering
kilometers.
the peak heating phase of flight.
And dropping. Yeah.
This is where you're going to see stuff start melting. If something's going to melt, we're at 70 kilometers, and look at the ship. Remember, lower right-hand corner. Look at that. Look at the attitude of it. If you start seeing the ship start doing this tumbling stuff, it's a problem. Just keep watching that attitude.
Looks like we can see some clouds down there.
That is
as we pass
sweet. Look at
through
that.
70
Perfect.
kilometers out.
This is actually going over.
Yeah,
like,
the
better
sun's
than I
starting to come up
expected.
again. Ooh, there we go.
There we
Wow,
go.
look at that. Oof. Look at it just pouring. Look at them. Just unbelievable.
Skirt is intact so far this time. If
Yeah,
you
last
watched
time
Flight
the
10, you saw
skirt
we entered
blew out.
with a little bit missing. That was
Yeah.
ultimately traced to a little bit of buildup. We dumped prop on the way. We had a little bit of solid propellant buildup, and then either static discharge or the plasma ignited it, took out a tiny bit of that skirt, some of the aft flaps, but Starship, again,
Look at
was
that.
able to fight through it, make it all the way to that landing burn. We addressed that, changed some of our prop dump con-ups, though, so...
On the Block 3, it's going to be
Should not
naked
be seeing that
under
this
here.
time
You're not
around.
going to see those bell housing, all of that shielding. You're not going to see that. It's just going to be the engines. That's it. The Raptor 3s, which is crazy. It's going to look empty, bare. Now look at
And as a
watch
reminder,
the ship.
we're... in
Remember,
addition
it
to
went
these
from
missing
straight up and
tile
down
tests,
to
we're
now
doing kind of a
starting to
unique
nose in a little bit. Just
flight
keep
on the
watching
way
it.
in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn and then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do on a return to launch site and a tower catch. So don't be surprised if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the Indian. And fun fact, even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
Look at the wraparound. You see it wraps around the flaps this time. All the heat tiles are wrapping fully around it, whereas the last time it went to the edge, and I think that was a major problem. So this is definitely better, what they're doing. But we'll see if they stay intact. It's looking great in here. Engine bay is looking fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully
right, just
we get a view of
12
whatever.
minutes to go. Still looking good.
It doesn't appear to be the flats. It looks like it's on the left side.
That gives a pretty good view of those aft flaps where, again, on the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around Starship, where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to make it through this, then that tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
Why do they call it a vehicle? It's not a vehicle.
Star, thank you for a membership for the month.
At what we call the business end of Starship with all the Raptor engines.
Yeah, guys,
and those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in about 10 minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
If you would be so kind to help Joe out, that would be great.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, subscribe. Definitely watch. There's
looking at E3.
Thousands of videos to watch on the channel.
It's the one we did the Relight on.
We have over 700 people watching right now.
It's 2 for 2 so far. We'll
Yeah,
see if we can go 3 for 3.
Sweet.
Yeah.
349
down,
likes.
sideways, anyway, just click it.
All right, look at the closest area of the screen, not the aft flap, but closer. Do you see over here this pin? Look at that pin. See how it's kind of melty?
All right, we can see that speed just continue to bleed off under 20,000 kilometers an hour.
Yep, under 20,000 at 60. We're at 60 kilometers. We're at 56 minutes.
Ship's still holding
just
together.
so you know, we have about 4 minutes. 4 minutes left until we see transonic.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom
and
right,
then
it looks like we've
finally
made it
supersonic
all
or
the way to
subsonic,
the
and then
Indian
we'll
Ocean.
end up
We're
at
coming
landing at about
kind of near Australia, the
let's
west
say
side of Australia there.
10
so
minutes from now.
Pretty
About
crazy. We're only 56
plus
minutes
1
in, and
hour,
we've made it all the way,
5 minutes, somewhere in
halfway
there.
around
1
the
hour,
world.
6 minutes. We'll see a landing. So you got 10 minutes to landing. But in the meantime, we're going to see the fireworks. This flap is holding up really, really super well. Better than ever before. I mean, the TPS people over there, they need a big...
It's actually a good demonstration of a future capability we hope to have on Starship where we will do point-to-point transport on Earth. So essentially travel anywhere in the world in about an hour or so.
It's crazy.
You know, gonna be
like I
pretty
said,
crazy.
the
Imagine going
TPS
from
folks over
New
there
York
really
to Sydney
really did a
in
good
1
job.
hour instead of the
That's
20 hours it
the
takes
thermal
currently.
protection system people, the people that work on the tile and where they are and how far apart they are. And now they have the new crunch wrap. That is once again an homage to Taco Bell, I think.
You can see the discoloring of the stainless steel there from the heat.
Yep. Yeah.
Right, that's by the Pez dispenser door.
Yeah, that's the exact same spot that we saw a
And
lot of
reminder, so this
discoloration last
camera
time, if you
is-
remember.
We thought we
some
saw
of the heat rate
fire.
picking up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
And this
Okay.
camera is embedded right in the end of one of those
Oof.
forward flaps, so you see it moving
Yeah, just
around.
watch
That's
this,
the
yeah.
flap.
Look at the
Adjusting to
heat
maintain
creeping.
control.
Look at that blue tarnish
It's like we're
creeping
getting into our bank
further
maneuver.
and further on the stainless steel.
My S38 is as predicted.
Now
It's
power
starting to
sliding
go-
through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down.
Oh, that's weird. It looked tarnished there, and then it just came back. I don't have my glasses.
Oh no, it's tarnished.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it superheated. You can see the blue and the rainbow color in the stainless steel.
That I can see.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
So there you go,
the
max
last-
Q. Again, maximum dynamic pressure. Look at the flaps. Look at the edge of that flap, the aft shaft.
All right, that was basically
flap.
our
Look at that.
reverse max Q. So most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during reentry, we just passed through it. So we're past that. We're past peak
Mark
heating.
said, "Shush, you three."
Ship's still holding together.
Excuse me. Are they? Is SpaceX?
So we're
talking?
currently in this bank
Yes.
maneuver. We're going to see it kind of
I'm
roll
gonna mute
over and do a
myself then.
pretty significant shift as we get down closer to the subsonic speeds.
Here we go.
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago, and we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
T-minus 6 minutes to landing.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere. We should hit transonic, so hitting that transition between moving faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about 3.5 minutes. Our landing burn should happen right around an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight. Everybody cross your fingers, see if our range team is able to get out there and provide any surprise views as Starship makes its way down. Oh,
Thank
it's like
you,
they
Jim.
heard me.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
Ready and waiting, let's go.
Wow.
Dan, you
Nice
just spoke that
weather,
view into
too.
existence there. And again, all brought to us by
RTS banking
Starlink.
maneuver has started.
T-minus 5 minutes.
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. Again, this does almost like a half circle loop to our actual trajectory. We're heading to the same exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where
Look at that
it's
shot.
this kind of big, long half moon loop and then a really aggressive kind of twist right at the very end. And that would line us up with the launch tower.
This is like perfect.
Starship on a return to launch site would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
How about that S38 decal there, staying strong on that view we just had?
You would think
Good to
that
see
would
the
melt it
numbers
off.
back on.
Yeah.
All right, should be hitting transonic in about 2.5 minutes.
So all in
Landing
all,
flip
guys,
coming up in about 4.
the flaps did
Pretty
not
clouds there in
melt.
the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down in the Indian
We'll
Ocean.
send
One of the
them
things we're
video
really looking for, the
about
reason we have the drone, other than, yeah, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast majority of the heat shield. So we throw these buoys out there. We've got there's
You spoke it
There's
again,
a buoy.
Dan. There it is.
They're playing with me in the control room. All right. But we have these buoys out there. We have these drones that we're trying to see externally how the heat shield held up. Everybody saw from Flight 10 it had a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a reddish hue.
like
That was
copper.
from those metallic tiles that we had tested, kind of oxidizing really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic
and
pressure
then-
is coming down.
Transonic in 20 seconds.
Hope nobody gets seasick. All right, coming up on transonic shortly. It's about 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship is transonic, starting the belly flop phase of flight.
Yep, that belly flop phase that we perfected in the suborbital campaigns, we're entering that now.
Right, starting to get those Raptors ready. Should be 2 minutes away from landing burn. Again, we're going to do a flip. After we ignite those engines, we'll go from 3 down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown, hopefully by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a ship.
How beautiful. You can keep watching the telemetry on the lower right-hand side. You can see that belly flop maneuver right now. The flaps are fighting.
Seeing
to
all
keep
3 center engines have
lined
entered
up.
the chill phase.
Now it's nose down. Look at the little pieces.
All right, less than a minute to go.
It's like just
The inners.
yeah, the extra.
The ship
stuff
is making
that's
its
in there.
turn for final approach.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower.
There we go. 20 seconds.
Flaps holding strong. Landing
Those
burn in
flaps
just
were
under 20
perfect.
seconds.
Unbelievable. Here we go.
Ship landing startup.
Here it is. Here it is. There you go. 3 engines are on.
There's our landing burn.
There it is.
3 down to 2.
Starship has landed.
Done. Look at that. Perfect straight up and down. See that landing? Holy hell. There it goes. Boom.
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship. We are down in the Indian Ocean. Let him hear it, Starbase. What a day.
It's all perfect. Look at these people. Look at these people.
All right. Welcome back to Earth, ship. What a day. A whole lot more to go through. As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase pretty hyped. Hey, Tyler, out of Hawthorne, how's everybody holding up?
Thank you, Dan. We had a fantastic time watching. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those Starlink views too. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees contribute to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you for tuning in, and back to you guys.
Yeah, what an incredible launch today. We had successful liftoff. Booster completed its objective, successfully splashed down over in the Gulf. Obviously, we saw another amazing Starlink deploy as well from ship.
Yeah, we made it through that re-entry, testing all the different experience. We had missing tiles, gave us quite the light show. We had that Raptor Relight 3 for 3. That was ahead of re-entry, of course. And then that awesome splashdown that we just saw, including that dynamic banking maneuver to simulate RTLS when we returned to the launch site. So yeah, we promised maximum excitement, and Starship delivered.
Definitely.
Congrats to all our teammates at SpaceX and to everyone who's supporting the Starship program. And thank you to all our future customers for your support.
We'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Yeah, be sure to follow SpaceX on X for updates and about more of the exciting
There you
news
go,
we
guys.
didn't get to feature on today's broadcast.
And if you're interested in more launch coverage just like this, head over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information.
All right, I will take us out. Hey, congrats, Jake and Amanda. You guys did amazing.
I had a quick question.
Great
that I
job.
put up
All right,
there.
today we launched the world's biggest rocket, knocked out all of our objectives. Shout outs to every single person who made this look easy. Thank you to everybody tuning in. We're going to see you back here for the very first flight of our next generation Starship. So we'll see you then. Good night.
Awesome, guys. We did it. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Because this was one of those that, it was, would it happen or would it not happen? That was like kind of the question. And by seeing that they were able to pull it off at the end, that's like a really, really big thing, guys. Because remember, this was kind of the end of an era. This was the end of the Block 2s. We're now to Block 3s. The pad is going to change. The craft is going to change. They're using different engines. They're using, instead of 4 grid fins, they're going to be using 3. The grid fins are going to have catch pins on them to be able to catch them with the Mechazilla arms. We're getting close to being able to deploy SpaceX Starlink version 3 satellites. They were talking about those version 3 satellites live on the broadcast. How each one of the satellites is basically equivalent to 10 to 15 of the current satellites. So when we deploy currently, let's say 28 satellites, well, that's not really a lot considering they're going to be deploying 60 that are 10 times the capacity, 15 times the capacity for each and every launch. So you can just imagine how big SpaceX Starlink is going to be and how everyone is going to be able to use it in the not so distant future. And that means when I say everyone, I'm talking about people that just have phones. Because if you have a cell phone and you have T-Mobile in the US, you can use SpaceX Starlink DTC or direct to cell as of today. Meaning that you can make a phone call, you can send SMS, you can send MMS, you can do video through WhatsApp, for example, all right? And that's just simply going to get better and better. Currently, there's about 750 of those DTC satellites in orbit. There should be about 1,400 by the same time next year. So this is big. What do you think, Shannon, over there?
Well, I think that watching this launch today, I feel it was successful. Hopefully, and you can just tell from the flags that they made a difference already with that.
They got it. They figured it out.
Obviously, got to wait a week or two for the full report to come out to find out, what went wrong. But I'm kind of nervous about Block 3, really nervous about Block 3, and. Obviously it's always good to go into something like that with caution, which I believe SpaceX is going to do. They can't go in there, thinking they're all that and they got everything figured out. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. This is really, really big. And you know what? They concluded this era, which was the Block 2, on a high note, not on a low note, right? So they went out with a ship that not only did the Super Heavy do exactly what it's supposed to have done, perfect, land in the Gulf of America, no problem, everything was perfect. And they expected that because they have done it so many times in the past, it's not a big deal. But to see Starship also get past that plus 6 minutes to plus 8 minutes when you do the relights and all the problems that they had last time, you didn't see any of those problems this time. There was a couple of burned through, there was a couple of burned out, like you saw the tiles missing, but those tiles missing were supposed to be missing. All right, they put them on very minimalistically just to test. That's the whole idea. They were testing it. And I tell you what, whatever they did with the materials on the flaps, obviously they did that wraparound that we didn't see in the past, that wraparound of the tiles that really, I think, helped a lot. But something else they did helped. I don't know what it is, but we saw absolutely zero burn through. Zero. No flat
Huge
problems
difference,
at all.
yes.
Major difference to all other times that we saw the Starship come back. So the Starship made it, and it landed in the ocean exactly how it should. And what they'll end up doing is we'll see probably within an hour or two, maybe by tomorrow, we'll see some even better shots from the buoy cam, and then also from that far back cam that we didn't see. Like they showed us like those pictures like before the landing, right? Like you were like up over the ocean, so that was either on a ship or it was on a drone or something, because it was high off the water. So that picture we're going to see probably, today or tomorrow. I want to see that one. That should be amazing. So, I mean, man, all in all, kudos to the guys over there and gals at SpaceX. I mean, they did it. And that's the difference between what we are doing here in the US in comparison to what China is doing. China is trying to emulate, duplicate, replicate, copy what SpaceX is doing with Starlink, even with Starship, with reusability, and they have not been able to do it. So,
and may I add, with recklessness, in my opinion, as well. I think China, they're a little reckless, and let's just stick it up there, see what happens. Where SpaceX, I mean, they put more thought into it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And guys, if you're still around, go and check out this that you see here. That is the space station. If you guys want to talk, hang out after the fact, this space station is on the channel. It's live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can just sit there, listen to calm sounds, deep space sounds. You can work to it. You can code to it. I code to it usually. You can sleep to it. And then there's a ton of information. When the next launches are going to be, breaking space news. You'll see solar weather as well as the actual weather at all 3 launch sites. That's Cape Canaveral, Vandenberg, as well as Starbase, and a bunch of other information. Dead center, you see the actual satellites revolving around the planet. There's 8,500 of those. Those are the actual location of those satellites, real time. So definitely check that out. Once again, that's in beta. I put it together for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know if there's anything you want me to add to it. Just get in there and give me some feedback. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Joe worked very hard on that, so check it out. It's nice to relax to. And then every now and again, I generally have it going all the time on my desktop, and I chime in the chat with stupid stuff,
stuff.
Exactly. So you'll catch me in there from time to time if you guys want to chat. But it's a pretty cool hangout. I fall asleep to that music.
I have to say thank you to you, Shannon, because I know your wife is gambling. Instead of you being in the casino, you're sitting in your room hanging out with us. I do appreciate that.
Ready to go.
Go win big.
Go.
You're ready to go. I'm wishing that you win a good substantial amount of money.
I did gamble at Publix today. I'm just saying I dropped $10 on a scratch off and a quick pick. So we'll see. If you don't see me ever again, you'll know why.
That's a grocery store, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're taking your money is a pleasure.
That's true. That's right. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the coverage. Thanks for all of the super chats. Thanks for all of those free gifted memberships from Peter, from Shannon, from everyone. It was eventful. It definitely was eventful. These are always fun. I'll have more videos for you throughout the week. I'm usually putting out about 3 to 4 videos about space, SpaceX, Starlink, Linux, AI, that type of stuff on this channel. Also, there's merch over at the merch shop. Go over to JCristina.com/shop. Once again, JCristina.com/shop. If there's something there you like, pick it up. That would be awesome. Don't forget your
teas. I mean, it's fall season. You guys have more, crispy weather than we do. There's some good stuff there. Get the sniffles and all that.
Yeah, there's good stuff. So anyways, thank you so much once again, Shannon. I'm going to leave the chat up. But before I leave, I want to give 5 minutes more into this, and then we're going to get out, so that if anyone has anything to say, we'll be here for another 5 minutes. Put it in there. And in the meantime, I just want to let you guys know that Block 3 is going to have some major changes to it. And if you guys don't know, Raptor 3 engines will be involved, so they're not going to have the same engines. Those engines do not need to have that bonnet or that protective bell housing around the bottom of it, right? That skirt even. They're going to be naked under there, so it's going to look completely
Shannon,
different.
did we get to, what was it, 300 or 400 for Joe's bench press time?
Yeah.
We did?
You did?
Yeah.
I can't tell over here.
I super chatted that a long time ago.
Really? I missed it. Damn it. All right, Craig and Shannon, I'm going to video Joe doing, what is it, a bench press of me?
Yeah. Craig's sitting there talking about it right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
This may end
But
up
I
bad.
will. It might end up bad, but I will try to bench press Fab.
Make it a short. Make it a short.
Yes.
Have your son film it. Make it a short.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I promised. I'm the one that made the deal.
He
but
pimped you out.
He's pimping me out.
Piper. You're gonna.
I'm going to have to do it. All right. I will give it a shot.
Sandra's stalking me, by the way.
Yes.
Apparently, she was listening, and she says...
she probably iPhone locationed you to see where you were.
She's watching the broadcast. So she said to say hi and bye. And that would be...
Sandra's not my fault. It's these two.
Yes.
Jeez. Well, go and have some fun.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Shannon.
much. Thank you, Peter Gosling, again. Thank you for everyone that super chatted us tonight. It's very much appreciated. And, just hanging out with us, hanging out with Joe, and,
and I'll
learning
leave
all
the
this
feed.
stuff that I don't even know half the stuff
Yeah,
about.
I'm going to leave this feed going for probably another 15, 20 minutes. I'm not going to shut it down. So if you guys want to talk, just go ahead and talk. Hang out in there. What I'll probably do is maybe I'll switch over so you can see the space station. And then after, you can move if you want into the space station once again, and just keep the chat going once this goes down. So anyways, guys, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And thanks a lot, Shannon.
Great night.
Bye,
Win,
guys.
Shannon,
Thanks
win!
for coming. We'll see you guys for Friday night, where we can say some cuss words.
Okay.
Absolutely. Friday night will be it. Lots of cuss words.
That's hilarious.
That's right. That's right. Thanks a lot, Shannon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Once again, Monday is it. Monday. I can't believe it's Monday. So tomorrow you'll see a video from me, most likely, probably one for every day for the rest of the week, most likely. I'm going to try. We'll see. Anyways, guys,
Mo
we'll
just
see you.
came in and we're leaving. I'm
Mo.
sorry, Mo.
We'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see you hopefully Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night.
If not, we'll chat online.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.